Howdy folks, welcome to Adventures in Alberon, or the home of Adventures in Alberon. Today we are stepping away from our main campaign to play a one-shot still set in canon. I'm Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master for this evening. Apologies for the lag, and joining me as always I have Matt, Dan, and Tina. We are a smaller group tonight as we take this delve into the history of Oakfeld in an original Alberon RPG 5th edition one-shot entitled Honorfall. But before we do that, a couple of announcements. We did not have Mosaic Team 5 yesterday, as you probably know by now. We had a lot of auto trouble, a whole variety of different things. Matt had to work. So overall, rather than just have one person available for a game, we decided that we'd push that off to next week. Next week at Thursday, 6 p.m., we're going to be participating in our very first Starship encounter with a little bit of battle high above Petrus 4, and then we'll probably get to meet some elements of Gibbs's backstory. So that's going to be really cool. You can see that, an original Starfinder Space Western campaign, Mosaic Team 5, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on Twitch. Matt's there. Dan's there. I'm there. Tina's not there.
I'm not there.
I'm not going to be there.
Oh, and Dan won't be there next week either, actually, because Dan is going to have his wisdom teeth removed.
You could still show up.
That's true. You could just be like really out of it in the corner. I love that.
Such a good
Have
day.
my mom drive me.
Yeah, I know. Bob's just
such
really
a good
suffering
day.
from it.
Drooling a little bit.
We also have a website, alberonrpg.com. It's a great place to find some information about Mosaic Team 5 and the Adventures in Alberon campaign under the World of Alberon. There is also a 120-page document that tells you all about the setting of Dominion, where many of our adventures take place. This is taking place in the Feywild, although relatively adjacent to Dominion. We also, final announcement because it's pretty short this week, we use Sirenscape for digital sound effects, music, all those kinds of things. Sirenscape is a digital tool set that you can use to inject sound into your life in a variety of ways. So check that out. And with that, we can begin our one-shot. So, I'll pull up my Honorfall soundboard made with Sirenscape where you can create your own soundboards. Oh, wait, right. You guys are going to be starting in initiative.
Oh, damn. Good thing I have such high initiative.
So, both of you, now in this space, looking around, you found yourselves quite suddenly within a grassy field. You can see in front of you these spectral, almost luminous trees, and from them golden pollen seems to drift up towards the skies, but you see out of the corner of your eyes movement. And on either side, you see two massive white wolves, both about 9 feet long, stalk from around these trees, other plants in this Feywild space. Let's see here. You also hear behind you the rush of a river. Give me 1 second here. There we go. You hear the rush of a river behind you, and looking back, it seems to be relatively wide. So I'm actually going to bring us to our combat map. You can see on this map where you see that river, really more of a symbolic river, it's wider than that. And so it kind of extends beyond the sightline of the map. I only have a very small river right now, so that's what we're using. You hear a snap, the sound coming from opposite the river, and now you see them, two large, almost bear-like individuals moving bipedally through the forest. You hear one of them, "Look at them, Errol. Mortals!" Absurd if it wasn't so terrifying. You can actually see just over Matt, you being this guy in the blue robe, straight across from you now, takes one of these trees and just snaps it as he walks by. The other one says, "Matters is they don't belong here, Caspin, so ain't nobody gonna miss them. The spring court doesn't help mortals." You can see now this wolf snap, and I need everybody to roll for initiative as they begin to close in here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, love it. So, the way that this is gonna work.
Oh, 20.
That's good.
You got a natural 20?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You are not rolling for initiative.
Oh, fuck. I won 20 in this game.
If you could do me a favor, Dan/Oakfeld, go ahead and roll a d4 for me. Okay, anybody natural 20? All right, 25 to 20. Ooh, okay. 20 to 15. 18. And what is your character's name?
Kendall.
Okay, Matt, what'd you get?
9.
9. Love it. What is your character's name?
I am the great wizard Eluso.
Eluso is fine. And then Dan, of course, being Oakfeld, what did you roll?
I rolled a 2 out of my d4.
Okay. So I'll get back to you in a second. So the way that this is going to work, we have Kendall first, followed by our fun individuals all out here on the battlefield, and then followed by Eluso, and then at some point we're probably going to see Oakville. Now, Kendall, as you see these creatures close in, could you please describe what your character looks like and then what they would like to do?
She is on the taller side for females, about 5'8". Kind of purplish, reddish skin. Hair swept all the way to the left side that's very blue in nature. It seems almost to look like a waterfall. And you can see patterns tracing through her skin that appear to be almost like waves or tattoos that just seem to kind of be moving. Definitely wearing armor, but it's underneath traveling clothing.
Okay. Excellent. So, your creature, a water genasi, correct? What do you want to do? You can see off and to your right this huge wolf, the first one that kind of snaps and begins to step forward. Across from you, probably about 45 feet away, give or take, you can see these two, what look like polar bears, although one has an eye patch and they both are semi-dressed, stalking for you. And you just heard them yell. What do you want to do?
Well, I see this very squishy looking individual next to me. I'm going to draw my longsword and shield and kind of put myself between them and him as much as I can.
Okay, so if you want to move Kendall right in front of you, kind of between you and the two polar bears, I imagine, is the
like
probably.
here.
ideal area. All right.
Yeah.
And then are you holding an action?
I am. If anything comes in range, I'm gonna hit it.
Okay, there you go. So you're kind of brandishing your sword. You step between this squishy person. And we're going to talk about that squishy person in just a second. Before they savage your body, Eluso, what do you look like?
I'm kind of like very generic looking, like kind of skinny, shriveled, pompous old man. You know,
A skinny, shriveled, pompous
Like-
old man. Okay.
like a nice white beard, very like, you know, he's got the head thing, but
So
he's got the
kinda-
hat, kind of like pretty much like mean Gandalf the Grey.
Mean Gandalf
no
the
hair.
Grey. Okay, fantastic. Kendall, from your standpoint, you see somebody who, you know, gray
Mean
beard and
teacher.
face, this kind of real angry look in his eyes, kind of just looking around
like glasses up.
incredulously. Yeah.
Abernathy!
And as he says this, suddenly you hear again this and this snap. The two wolves are going to close in on you, Eluso. So if you can move those, just because I can't reach them, and put them on either side of you. This does provoke an attack of opportunity if you would like to take it.
Absolutely.
These two polar bear-looking
So they go
creatures,
like-
yes, very much. The two polar bear-looking creatures are going to be moving into base contact on either side of Kendall. One of them has to double move to get there. The other one does not, so they're going to get attacks.
So there and there.
25.
25 hits, yeah, absolutely. This is a wolf. It's a big wolf, though.
For 7.
7 points of damage, all right. All right, so they rush from the sides. This is very Velociraptor in its motion. This is a pack that is used to working together, the wolves and these bears. And so as they close, almost like one, the wolves are both going to get attacks off on you,
On
Eluso.
one of them, I'm going to use my reaction to impose disadvantage as he is within 5 feet of me and I am wielding a shield.
Okay, fantastic.
That's good.
So, interestingly, because they have pack tactics, they would normally have advantage. So for that one, rolling flat, which is very helpful.
Damn.
Eluso, the first one, which is at regular roll, you can see it snaps in to bite at you. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yep.
So as it goes to bite you, you see this strong-looking water genasi turn, the waterfall-like hair. You almost like turn expecting to be splashed as it goes by your face. Kendall, you take the shield and jam it up into this wolf, not expecting the strength and the size. It almost knocks you down, reaching over and biting into you. You're going to take... Oh, wow, that's a lot of damage for level 7.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know. Jeez, what did I do? That's not too bad. You are going to be taking 8 points of piercing damage. This thing bites onto your arm, grabbing it. And go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
Oh, I'm not going to make that. 7.
It throws you to the ground. Eluso, you are prone, falling into the grass of this Feywild. This other creature has double advantage on you now. Just kidding. You only have one advantage. Wow, that's so bad. Does a 16
Go
hit?
ahead and say yes. Just probably all.
What is your AC?
11.
Nice.
Wow.
So you're wearing like a nightgown. Dope. So he grabs onto you, one throws you to the ground.
I was doing work in my office.
You're like still
man.
holding a quill
Yeah.
and like somebody's test. You get thrown to the ground. The quill scatters across the grass. The second one lunges in, biting you, and you are going to take an additional 15 points of piercing damage. As it snaps into your chest, you feel your robes begin to saturate with blood. That is their turn. However, this brings us to these werebears. They close in on you, Kendall. The first one is going to make 2 claw attacks against you. That is going to be a 20 to hit
That'll hit.
and a 9 to hit.
That will not.
Fantastic. So, that one that does hit you, you can see the arm reach up and then swing down. The claw is long, like 3-inch long, shredded, very feral-looking claws. You are going to take 14 points of slashing damage.
14.
Yeah, 14 points of slashing damage. The second one is going to attempt to bite you. That is a natural 1. So as he goes to kind of snap at you, this time you take the shield and just bash him in the face. You hear one of the teeth snap as it roars in pain. That is their turn. That is going to bring us to Eluso. On the ground now, these 2 wolves snarling over you. You have one literally inches from your face, just drool dripping onto you. What do you want to do?
I think I want to cast Fear.
Okay.
So one of these guys is like on top of me, right?
Basically, yeah.
And
so
then
right,
the other one's like, which one's on top of me?
the one on the closest to you. Your physical human, yeah.
This guy?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna do a cone this way to get this one off of me.
We have templates. Look
All
at
right,
that.
what is this then?
We'll throw a
30
close-up
foot
on the camera
cone.
for you.
All right, 30-foot cone from my body.
30 foot cone. So that's going to hit the wolf.
I'm going
Kendall.
that way. Boom. Sorry, Kendall.
Okay, no worries. You're hitting everybody.
Great.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of save is that?
Sorry, Tina. That guy doesn't really give a fuck right now. He's getting everyone.
Sucks to suck.
Let's see. Wisdom saving throw, and I think this is the only thing that I have that's pretty good. 16 DC.
Okay, so for the wolves, that is going to be a 7 and a 0.
Cool.
For the bears, that's a natural 20
Damn.
and a 3. So
Okay.
everybody on the enemy's team, with the exception of the bear furthest from you,
This one?
yeah, that guy. Everybody is considered afraid of you. Let me see. Matt, there you are. It's 2 of them, and let me give you one more. I forgot to take out my guys. There you go. Kendall, did you pass?
17.
17.
You just passed.
Fantastic. There you go. That's good too, because I only have. Oh, actually, no, I have enough frightened for 4
good.
people. So, as you do, what does this look like when you cast magic, Eluso?
Their wildest fears.
I love this character.
So this splash of magic comes out, and for all of you, you just see a shapeless mist. But for 3 of these, the wolves especially, you see the ears go back, the tails just tuck under the bodies. They begin to kind of back away. One of the bears looks back around and goes, "Mom!" and just begins to kind of backpedal. But fantastic. Anything else, Eluso?
I don't think I have anything. I guess I'm gonna get up.
Okay, great. Half your
Yeah.
movement, you jump to your feet or climb very unsteadily to your feet.
It takes me like the next 6 seconds to
Blood
get up to
running
my
down
feet.
the robes. But yes, you stand up. Fantastic. Oakford, you standing where you are on this mountain of endless harvest, a beautiful place. A place where, depending on the time of year within the Feywild, and time passes very differently here, things grow and come into fruition almost immediately. You can go down this hillside and never want for food a single step of the way. You being very familiar with this hillside, you've never left. Your community is here. Your people are here. There is no need to leave this place because everything that you could want as a treant is here. In this peaceful place, however, suddenly you smell the hot tang of magic in the air. Not magic from this place. And then you hear a commotion. For you, you turn, the massive wooden form of your body creaking, and you see off no more than maybe 60 feet away, down a hill to where the river is beyond, you see an old man and a tall, strong-looking woman battling against 4 creatures from outside your domain. You've never seen them before. 2 large wolves, you know what those are. But you've never seen these bear-like creatures before. They look like they belong to the Winter Court. These individuals stepping in here, they look like they're going to be slaughtered. And the rules of your land say that there should be no intruders. You are maybe a turn away from where they are. What do you want to do?
I probably have a nice little Drockwell plant flower, probably right onto my palm, and I'm going to.
It is the honorable thing, and I know how my honor is.
And I'm going to close my hands and then start running down the hill.
For all of you, very quickly, even over this combat, you hear suddenly. And at the end of your turn, Dan, if you could put yourself anywhere on the far edge of the map that you would like to.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's
anywhere?
a big boy. Anywhere on the far part of the map, so closest to me. Anywhere on that edge you are entering. We're using Warhammer 40,000 rules here. So for all of you, on the side where there are much larger trees, away from these sort of fairy-like things, you see one of the oaks seem to turn. You hear this as if it's about to fall, and then and a tree with this what would your face be like? Angry, serene? What does Oakfield look? It's hard for me to imagine how Oakfield feels because he's so alien.
Oakfield probably feels and just looks very old, but also just like filled with just rage.
Great. A furious tree. Roughly 6. I think it's what? You're 18 feet tall? Something like that? It was the upper end of it.
Big as I can get is for my huge character.
I have to double check. It's either 18 or 26 feet, but you're tall.
Yeah.
This huge tree erupts, fury on its face, and that's all that you know about it at this moment. So that is the end of your turn there. I add you to the inventory. God, Mantrini. Kendall, what would you like to do? Baddies are on deck, and then you are following up Aluso.
I am going to use my channel divinity
Fantastic.
to turn the faithless. So kind of hold up, and you see this bracelet of almost living vine around her wrist. Utters ancient words. and each Fey or Fiend within 30 feet of me has to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Each Fey or Fiend, you said.
Yes.
Fantastic. Are either of you Fey or Fiend?
Half Fey, right?
No. You are not classed. You don't have the keyword Fey.
I don't know
And
if
he's-
Trans are not.
Yeah.
You're not within 30 feet of me.
True. Yeah.
As you reach and you feel you connect to your power, to this power that has provided you with the various abilities that you have, and as this pulse, you feel it ripple out from you. Nothing turns. There are no Fey or Fiend within this area.
That's disturbing. Bonus action, I'm going to cast Thunder Smite and hold it.
Fantastic. Okay, so you look around.
All right.
There's this, and all of you feel this, like you see the shockwave of this. All of the trees kind of ripple around you away, and even these polar bear creatures kind of pause and take note. But then they turn, and one of them looks at you, the one not afraid of his mother, and just goes, "Didn't work." And then suddenly you see Kendall take a grip. What kind of weapon is it?
It's a longsword.
It's a long sword. The hand tightens, and suddenly the whole sword begins to pulse, and you can see this smile kind of drop. But you hold that until somebody gets within range, or what is the trigger?
Well, the Channel Affinity was my action.
Right.
So Thunder Smite, I'm just holding it till my next
Right,
turn.
so that's until your attack. So it's not technically holding; it's just
Correct,
active. Great.
yes.
Okay, so that sword begins to pulse and glow. It brings us to the baddie's turn. For the wolves, it's at the end of their turn they get to make the save, right?
Yes. If
Okay.
they end its turn in a location where it doesn't have line of sight to me, the creature can make a Wisdom saving throw
Okay. So the wolf is actually going to take its full speed off the board.
to move away
Yep.
from
So
me
that thing's just running.
in the safest available route. So
Yeah,
probably
the tail
just like
is
right
down
up
and
there.
it's just running. The paw is splashing on the banks of the river as it just takes off. This tree guy, or sorry, the bear guy
The
next
bear
to it is going to make 30 feet towards Oakfeld. Not with his intelligence. Oh,
right here.
yep. Not aware that this is oak. That this is not a tree.
Okay.
He
So-
runs forwards. He's going to turn around. Does he have anything ranged? Give me something ranged.
He must take the dash action and move away by the safest
Oh.
available route.
Great. So they just run him right by Oakfeld. If you want, as you turn, you like crash through and stop, scanning what's happening. You see this wolf yipping off into the distance, and then this large polar bear-like intruder holding a great metal great axe begins to run by you. You can take an attack of opportunity if you would like.
Can I do a grapple?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And they're strong too.
A 6 plus 4, so 10.
What is your strength score? That ties him.
18.
18.
And I'm a massive tree, so come on. Massive.
You tied him and have one higher in your strength score.
Nice.
So as he runs by, you kind of grab on. You just grab a part of the shoulder pad. His feet still move in the snow. He gets like another 2 feet and then kind of stops. His feet just spinning in place.
You're a
He
fucking tree.
turns around. He still doesn't see the tree. He's terrified of this illusion. He turns and he's just like, "Mom, no!" And he's like kind of like hiding and just kind of cowering, but he is grappled by you.
I want to say,
Put
Who
him next to
dares
there.
tread upon these hollow grounds?
And again, he just goes, I'll keep my hand out of the cookie jar, Mom, I promise. And he's just, you see tears in the fur, terrified, believing this voice to come from his long dead mother. This is going to be the other wolf also, full dash action the other direction on the river. He's going to run straight down and away off the map. This final creature looks to the left. Everybody ran, looks to the right. The face dropped. Now, seeing this woman with this huge sword, he is going to... That is not going the way he thought.
Please leave my range. Please leave my range.
I mean, he's going to.
Yes.
He's going to turn around and just look and just go, "It wasn't supposed to go this way. We'll see you later." And he turns, and you just see he begins to lumber off. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
For I don't know this character very well. 22.
22 definitely hits. This guy is a bear. His armor is being a bear. It's
Better than being a squishy geriatric.
12 points of slashing damage and
Ooh.
7 points of thunder damage, and he needs to
Damn.
make a strength saving throw.
Damn.
That is going to be a 15.
And he poops his pants a little.
That is my spell save. So I
That is
think
your spell
he's-
save. Okay. So in total, man, that's a lot. You hear this, and he kind of like sprawls into the grass, kind of like almost now running like a bear on all fours, hopping up to 2 and still continues to run away. He looks over, kind of pointing his axe as he does, almost tripping, and then he just goes, "You're going to regret that." And then you just see him running off into the woods. However, this huge tree is still grappling one terrified bear. That brings us to the end of their turn and the beginning of Aluso's turn. Aluso, you see the 2 wolves yipping away from your illusions. One of the bears tries to, and then you see a tree come alive and grab him. The other bear threatens the person defending you and runs away. What do you want to do?
While maintaining concentration on the fear,
Okay,
as long as possible,
sure.
can I ready an action to Mind Sliver as a cantrip?
You can't concentrate and ready an action that's going to
Okay.
break your concentration.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I like the gusto.
Yeah, I don't want to, cause I don't want to fuck with this tree. So I think just maintaining concentration, just kind of being like,
Okay, sure. You intensify your thoughts on these illusions. That is your turn, Elusa. That brings us to Mantrini, aka Oakfeld,
AKA Oakhart.
Oakhart. Oakhart, you hold this bear in your hands. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna just bring him up to eye level, and I'm going to
give him a big kiss.
just size him out. Just be like, "What? Who dares come upon my hollow grounds?"
So for the first time, as you lift him up and his legs down, not like gaining any traction whatsoever, you kind of have him almost by the entire chest. Your branch-like limbs wrapped around the shoulders, under the shoulders. And as you lift him up, he turns looking at you. He grabs onto your fingers and he's just like, "Let me down! Let me down!"
Let me down, Mom.
You corrupt these lands, and I will have no more of it. If down you want, then down you will go.
And I'm gonna free action drop him,
Okay.
so
From,
he'll
like,
take
as-
fall damage.
Okay, so you reach up as high as you can. Give me 1 sec, because now this matters.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
the highest huge creature I can be, like the highest, hugest.
Oh my god.
So a huge creature occupies a 15-foot by. Sorry, hang on 1 second here. These are one of the weird math things. Where you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm never gonna
What
need
is
to
the
know this."
height of a tree? The maximum height
I've
of a
wanted
tree
to do
end
this combo
with
so
its
long.
arms over its head.
Just like be a huge person and just drop someone as a free action. This is the first time I've ever gone to do it.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna say. First of all, just make an athletics check.
Like if Batman didn't give any fucks.
Right?
You want to get let down? Here you go. But there's no fucking batarang to stop you there, bat grappler.
So you're dropping this dude from about 35 feet.
Oh, it's not
yeah.
that bad.
20.
I mean,
Dirty
30.
20.
35.
Okay,
It's still
no
bad,
problem.
but
You lift him,
not-
and he just is like, "Let me down," and you say your line, lifting him higher and higher, and you could see all of a sudden you go, "No, no, no, no," and then you just let him go. He pinwheels, kind of turning end over end, falling. He's gonna make a dexterity saving throw. Nope. I mean, okay, in the grand scheme of things, it could have been a lot worse. That's still a pretty decent amount of damage. That's more damage than smite.
wow.
Not by a lot, but by a little bit. That's pretty impressive. So you just pick him up and drop him, dropping him 35 feet to the ground. He pinwheels end over end and just hits. You hear something crack, and he just still trying to crawl away from his mom. But he's on the ground, prone in front of you.
I have 2 attacks and a bonus action.
That is true. You
Oh my
certainly
God.
do. So
So,
go ahead, make your attacks or whatever it is that you're going to do.
I'm going to basically, my hand is basically a spear, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna just pummel down
Oh my god.
with my first attack.
This is at advantage. She's prone on the ground in front of you, and this is a melee attack. So as the hand lets go, the
At
fingers seem to elongate and whip around each other, forming a long, almost like a 7-foot-long spear of wood, living wood.
Oh my god.
So 18.
Yeah, that's.
But
That fits.
nothing.
Gonna have to file so many papers. It's like one more complaint in the complaint bucket.
There's so many on Abernathy. It's an
9
apartment.
plus a d6.
Just bring like a small novel
12.
every
12?
week.
And my second attack, unless he's dead.
No, he's not dead. You're piling damage on here. So as you drop him, your fingers wrap around each other and form an almost 7-foot-long spear of living wood. You drop and bring it back, and then slam it
That's
down.
exactly what I
It
wanted to do.
pierces through the leg. This is like maximum carnage, piercing him into the ground. He yells out now, still trying to like grab away from where Aliso is. You see tears streaking down the fur, blood soaking into the white polar bear-like fur. Go ahead and make your second attack.
I'm gonna just lift up my arm and about to do like a power drive right down again. Same
Absolutely,
movement.
yeah. And this is at advantage again.
6 my first roll. 10 plus 7 for my
That hits. Go
17.
ahead and roll damage on that.
9.
Okay. And then you have a bonus action.
Yep. I pull Arm Master.
Okay.
4. 4 again.
So you added what? 4 damage on?
No, that's my bonus action to attack with the other end of the pole arm.
Okay, and you rolled a 4?
Yeah, and another 4.
So
Yeah.
that's total of?
No, those my attack rolls 2 4s. So.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Plus 7. So yeah.
That hits.
Yeah.
That
sorry,
just
I forgot,
hits. These
yeah.
are bears. They're not.
Yeah.
They don't have a high AC.
So I just rolled a d4. Yeah, I forgot that the AC was super not high. 2 plus 4, so 6.
6. Tell us how it happens. He had 4 health left.
Oh my god.
So I lift it up. I pile drive him second time, and then for the last hit, I reach up and I skewer him. It's basically like a nice like skewer tip of on like a nice
Oh,
barbecue,
no.
Mhm.
and I
Making
just
them into teriyaki?
fling him down
Oh,
to the ground
Fantastic.
with
So
my
you-
hand clean.
You see, the first thing that he does, he lifts the polar bear up. The leg is kicking and kicking. As soon as he goes, oh, let me down, let me down. Oakfeld drops him 30 feet from up high. He smashes into the ground. You hear the wind leave his body, bones crack, and then this hand of Oakfeld, now twisted into a spear, spears through his leg, then his abdomen. And as he pulls the body up, the body's still on this. Oakfeld just flings him aside, and this huge bear just dead in the grass. And you are all out of initiative as you see these wolves yip off into the distance.
I'm hiding.
This bear
Far as
running.
That dude
hiding.
away from us.
That dude, probably at this point about 60 feet. He's just off the board. You can still see him. However, he kind of runs, and you see him just begin to run down this hill and off into this countryside, along with the other 2 wolves now running even further from him. But you are out of initiative. So I'm going to give you some nice little ambient music instead.
I'm hiding behind the tree.
Yeah, why not?
That fucking tree just skewered the guy.
Are you hurt?
Yes.
Come here. Lay on hands for 10.
There you go. All of a sudden, your arms get damp. It's very strange. It's as if over the instant you had spent time in the morning kind of gathering dew on your arms, and all of a sudden it's just there. and then it disappears, sinking into your pores, and you feel yourself almost stronger. Your wounds beginning to kind of heal.
Suppose that sort of magic has some use.
You're welcome.
Turning, you see maybe 15 feet off from you, the hand slowly untwirling so that there is no longer a spear but 5 long fingers shrinking back to their regular size. You see a roughly 30-foot tall treant.
I'm gonna like pull you behind the tree. Like, don't let him see you.
I think it's a little too late for that.
I'm probably going to.
I'm gonna ready greater invisibility
Okay.
in case he looks hostile.
Okay, so mark off that spell slot.
Oh, if I don't
If
cast.
you ready a spell,
Oh.
you use the spell slot.
Oh, I'm not
You're
gonna do that then.
How do you not know that? You've been playing a magic user for the last 3 years.
I don't use.
I've told you this multiple times. Okay, neither here nor there. Anyways, would you like to ready that?
No, that's my biggest. I'm not blowing my 4th spell.
I love
slot.
the idea of you using your biggest spell in a one shot just to hide for flavor. But okay,
It's
Oakfell,
all
you
I've got.
see These 2 creatures hiding behind a semi-transparent tree. These trees phantasmal in nature, and so not providing a great amount of cover.
Well, one trying to hide, one not.
Yeah.
Before I see them, I'm probably picking up trees that have been unrooted by these creatures, like running past.
Oh my
and I'm
god!
just sticking them into the ground again.
Yeah.
Like angrily? Are they getting destroyed? Like what's?
No, I'm
Oh.
replanting them.
Oh, okay. I'm still hiding. I'm like,
I'm gonna walk over toward the triad.
Okay. You've seen trans before, and you know, in general, relatively benevolent, although not welcoming to outsiders for the most part. But you approach.
In Sylvan, I'm gonna say thank you for the help.
I hear all of this.
You speak Sylvan?
Yes.
Okay, good. 'Cause you definitely hear it, but whether you comprehend it or not,
Oh,
really
yes, I
important.
do.
Okay.
I studied Sylvan, of course.
As classic Opheld, I'm going to kind of be like ignoring that a little bit, and I'm going to be looking at the plants, and just trying to feel if there's any corruption in the plants brought by these creatures.
Make a nature check.
11 plus 3, so 14.
Your education about nature is not something that was taught. This is something that you feel very deeply. And so for you, not necessarily like an open corruption, but as you sense about just kind of feeling the way that this environment is reacting, you feel for the first time on this mountain just the barest essence of a chill. That's unusual. You turn, you look at these creatures, the living ones. Though they too are outsiders, you see an old-looking man, already looks quite hurt, visibly frightened, at the very least upset. And then you see this other creature kind of striding towards you. You kind of heard them talk. To humans, very much the same sound as the wind, not something that you take note of necessarily. But now, seeing her, noticing this change, you hear the words again. Which were?
Thank you for the help.
Help. Will you not bring about this change of wind in these hollow grounds? How can I know your intentions?
We were being attacked by those things. The one you killed here? You made it so that we didn't die.
By the blessed Green Matron. She allowed you not to die.
Around your feet, Kendall, flowers bloom. And in this space, you can see the trees almost lean towards you and react.
I'm aware of the Green Matron.
Am I aware of the Green Matron?
I'm sorry?
Am I aware of the Green Matron?
Certainly, yeah.
Finally,
Within the
my
Bright
place.
Academy, yeah, everybody knows the Green
Okay.
Matron.
This is great. People know the Green Matron for Oakville. This is like the first time. This is great.
This is a strange place for me. I'm not sure where I am. Where could you tell us?
I would know where we are, right? Generally, that we're in the Feywild.
You know that you're in the Feywild, certainly. Looking up, you can see the sky, unlike a normal sky, looks to be almost like a dark emerald that curves forever and ever just out of sight, looking as if it floats above the world, but so massive that you can't quite see
Which
beyond
spire would that be?
it. Not a spire.
Huh.
The spires exist on the regular plane, and they link between the material plane and the Feywild.
Okay.
The spires are massive. So where you studied, the Bright Academy, is nearest the Emerald Spire, and you've been there before.
Okay.
It's a towering, jagged obelisk of emerald. It looks like pure emerald, although magically enchanted, and it can react in different ways. When it appeared, there were these almost gem and magic-infused automaton that initially took care of it. They went inert centuries ago. Nobody's really sure why. Within the Feywild, though, the spires, they anchor points of the Feywild for sure. You have never been in this place. Oakfeld, you are on the Mountain of Eternal,
Yep.
or Never-Ending Harvest, I believe.
And then harvest.
Yeah, never.
Mountain of Never-Ending Harvest.
Yeah.
You know that the exit to the Feywild, the nearest one, you need to descend this winding dirt path to the mountain on the Mountain of Never-Ending Harvests, passing between the 8 circles of the Seeker's Path. Each circle is a stone archway that looks very much like ivory. This is a pretty large mountain, but the descent is gradual. And relatively easy to get to the first circle, perhaps 20 minutes. You've never left this mountain. You've heard of some of the places beyond, perhaps, but you've never gone beyond. In theory, you know the way. And anyways, it should be pretty easy. Follow the circles.
Have I heard of this area, even though I haven't been here?
Make a history check for you.
15?
In your travels, you've heard of this place. It's deep within the Spring Court's territory within the Feywild. And this area, so deep, it's actually kind of hard to access. This path, the easiest way out, you've heard of it. You've also heard it is a winding path, and you've heard of that in more than a physical sense. There is a magical way in which it twists and turns. You'd imagine you will not be staying on this mountain long. The path through the Feywild is never straight.
I'm going to say,
You are trespassers upon the mountain of endless harvest. You humanoids must leave immediately.
We meant no harm. Don't know how we got here, to be perfectly honest.
Wouldn't be
So-
here at all.
We're going to take our leave. By your permission.
What was your intention of being here?
Like I
I
said,
had none.
we were somewhere else and ended up here.
If you know of Lamorne, the winds seem to sway in your direction. Perhaps it is a sign from the matron that you are here. And I must guide you, for it is my duty.
and I'm going to bow and get on a knee.
And as Oakfell gets down on a knee, you see little mushrooms and blooms and things just emerge around him. You see this little sapling that he just replanted stretch a little taller, the limbs growing, new buds unfurling.
We'd appreciate that. My name's Kendall. And I suppose the squishy one's with us as well. Squishy!
My name is the Great Wizard Illuso. I am the head of the Illusion Department of the Bright Academy.
I'm sorry, the what?
And I am Oakhart, Lord Lord of the mighty oaks of the endless harvest, defender of those...
I do not care. Just bring us back to the material plane.
You can see around around Eluso, the grass gets a little bit brittle and green. It goes from like the dark green of healthy grass to like a slight yellow, sour. And you can see the tree behind him, this kind of spectral tree, suddenly forms these heavy lemons that kind of pull the branches a little down.
We'd be honored, Bokart, if you would lend us your aid in exiting this place.
I have, in my travels, gone the perimeter checking for corruption, but I have never left. That would be sacrilege.
Then just show us the way so we can get out of here.
No.
You needn't leave with us, as far as you're willing to go.
No, if Lamora wishes, I believe that I must extend myself to those who are not.
And I'm going to just look at my hand when I say not.
Very well.
The
So-
quicker... No.
Okart, you know, from this position, you would just kind of turn to your left, and you could begin heading down the mountain. In ways you'd be following eventually, if that kind of bear that ran off the map, you saw him hook around and head down as well. So you're heading roughly in the direction of some of the one of the wolves and one of the bears that survived.
This bear?
Yeah. The other one is kind of wiped across the grass over
Kind of
there.
smooshed.
Yeah. He's in several parts. of the
Feeling a
grass.
little smooshy.
There are 8 circles along the Seeker's path. Each circle is a stone archway. It is quite important in our culture, but we must never go out there. I will bring you to the edges of it, but I will not leave the final arch.
Fine.
Very well.
And you would know that final arch is in a place called the Canyon of Echoes. Just beyond that place, there's something called the Gate of Shadows and Snow. The Winter's Court's duty, mainly as it exists within the Feywild and the current political structure, is a barrier between the material plane and the Fey. And so anybody who passes between them needs to use one of several gateways. Oakfeld, if you want, you can begin walking and lead them down this hill.
Yes, I will do so. And I'll relay that information to them.
How is your honor?
I asked them as we were walking.
What?
Your honor. Your sole reason for everything.
Fine. It's fine. Stop talking to me.
I strive to be a light in places where it may have gone out.
Quite the way of Lamora herself.
Sure.
If you were not from here, where are you from?
You mean initially or most recently?
Most recently.
Some material plane somewhere. Wasn't all that exciting. What about you?
As I said, I am the head chair of the illusion department at the Bright Academy.
You keep adding more words on the title. Head of the department, the head chair of the department, the vice admiral, head chair.
You know, your story keeps changing every time you open your mouth.
Shut up.
Oakfeld, as this old man grunts his reply, you take the first of a couple steps downwards now, where the earth descends especially steeply It's almost as if naturally it rises up to form these steps. But as you pass and you look back, you can see there are pillars of ivory that seem to rise naturally from the earth to hold these steps aloft. You descend 10 minutes and 20 minutes. And you come at final last of the first of these circles, which you've seen before, Oakfeld. This is the circle of weather. You can see a large alabaster or ivory kind of archway. It would form a circle if it were to disappear completely underground. You see a figure on the middle of this circle. It appears to be an albatross carrying 2 olive branches in its beak. Within the circle itself, you can see through what looks like a hillside. You see yew trees beyond, totally different than everything that's around the circle itself. You're definitely looking into a different place. It is darker there. And all around the circle, it's about 45 feet away from you, you see the grass is perfectly clean. As you take a couple steps closer, you realize the reason is because as soon as you get within 30 feet, you feel wind. The weather here warmer, different, within 30 feet of this gateway. It feels very pleasant. And in a place that is always night, it almost feels as if the light here is a little bit brighter. You take another step forward, and you now, within 10 feet of this gateway, can see quite clearly through simple simple stacks of stones formed to make almost what look like very simple houses. For you, having spent some time within the Feywild, this is a druid burial ground. Within these houses are probably simple stone tables upon which bodies are left, and then animals come to return that organic matter back to the wild. And sure enough, your eye is adjusting to this space beyond. You see bones littering the ground almost everywhere. You can see in places plants have grown to kind of wind these vines around many of the bones, seeming to almost pull them back and into the earth. Through this gateway, you do see a figure. A satyr, old, gray hair, almost falling away from the scalp. You can see a very skinny body clad only in a simple garment of threadbare, like wraps, almost like a potato sack. She sits there, legs kind of askew to either side, looking up at one of these stones in the center. What would you all like to do?
I'm cautiously following at a distance behind, like 15 feet or so from.
Sure.
Following Oakard, I suppose.
All right. Oakard, are you walking through this gate and into this druid burial ground?
Before I do, I'm gonna hesitate
Okay.
because I realize my next step will be the farthest I've ever gone.
If you take one step, you'll be further from the Shire. Than
Exactly.
Mr. Photo.
And I think a little bit about what that means to leave.
Okay.
And I whisper a little bit to myself.
Furthermore, her path may be twisted, but always growing.
And I'm going to extend my hand, do like one of those like underneath, like kind of like crab walk through. Is the arch big enough for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's literally about 25 feet tall, so you're
Okay.
just kind of bending your
Yeah, I'll
head.
do like a bending out, and as I go like sideways like a crab, and then I extend my hand halfway through as I walk through.
Anything notable about this archway?
Make an investigation check if you're looking. Oakfeld, you put your hand through. It's cooler on the other side. You feel a wind, a different wind, not the warmth of this circle of weather. You almost feel the autumn court's presence here, although not quite. This still seems to be somewhere on the periphery of the territory that you are familiar with, although you've never seen this before. As you reach in, you see the creature in the middle turn a little bit. You see the eye, certainly living, regard you sad. You can see bloodshot. You see these deep bags under the eyes. Thank you, Matt. What are you doing, Oakart?
Do I recognize this creature?
You've never seen her before. You've seen satyrs before. This is an old one.
I've seen the satyrs in this area where I've grown up. I've seen them, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the ones that you've seen, generally, I mean, they're a cheery group.
Okay. Okay.
These are the individuals who really draw from this endless harvest to create beautiful bounties and have these great festivities. Maybe less for you, but definitely for the people within your area. This one looks very sad.
Oh, an elder satyr. How is your honor?
She turns again now, kind of regarding you. For the other two of you, what did you roll for your check?
15.
15. Again, you can see that there is an albatross on it, kind of carved in, so not like added on afterwards, carved from the same stone as this gateway, which appears to be almost like an ivory. It's carrying all branches, two of them in its beak. It's an okay carving, not great.
Okay.
I'm following Ogre.
Okay, so you step forward into the space as well.
And hesitantly follow.
Okay. She turns and kind of looks you up and down again. I'm okay. I'm where I want to be.
I'm not.
This time you can see she kind of props herself up and turns a little bit more fully, and she regards you. Why?
Because I have lots of work to do, and now I'm stuck here. Abernathy! Ah! Another complaint.
She looks
Saying
around.
that word. What is Abernathy?
A colleague of mine who is almost certainly involved in this.
Right.
You are too busy.
I most certainly am.
You need to look around. You need to remember. Please, do not forget the details. I am here to remember Ishana and the life we made together. In the hope that one day she will remember me back. You can see her eyes kind of lock on one of these stone cairns off to the side. Please don't forget the details. You too will grow old and forget. And she turns back, kind of looking up at this central circle of stacked stones. As she says this, you kind of turn, look a little bit beyond the stack of stones, and off in the distance, a pair of vultures actually sitting atop. A little harder to see. These vines have obscured most of it, but you see another alabaster circle. Your next step on this path.
I do not believe forgetting is the end. Your memories are still what keeps Lashanda alive.
She turns and kind of looks up at you. When we die, our bodies nourish the wild. You should know that. But you walk the Seeker's path. If you have forgotten, you, Trient, will remember soon. Her hand goes out, and you can see she points, and the vines around the other circle kind of slither off and fall away. You can see more clearly through this next circle. You see on the top, between these two vultures kind of sitting on either side, there is an icon of a singular vulture clutching the carcass of a rat in its talons. Through the space, you can see what looks like a small rowboat gently rocking on an ocean, a pond, a lake. Hard to tell. Crystal clear water. Beautiful kind of greenish seagrass beneath.
Hmm.
Stepping through the gate will put you on the boat.
Remember what?
She turns. You're talking to her?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll remember the reasons that you lived. You'll remember these notes that you've taken. Whoever you are, will that make you happy?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think you do.
I think someone needs to laugh a little bit more.
There's nothing funny about this. I want to go home.
Nobody said it had to be funny.
You're not from here. If you wish to go, then go. And she kind of points again.
I will.
Stalks off to the next circle.
Look at them like I'm starting. Yeah. Walk
Kind of
away.
close anyway.
I'm gonna turn to what is it? Helen? Kendall.
I do not understand your humanoid quibs and jokes. But you strange, puny creatures are visitors here, and I will
Yeah, like that bear man.
endure the differences.
I will endure your incompetence.
And I'm gonna just move forward.
Okay. You take like 3 steps and you're beyond where Aluso is now.
Mm-hmm.
Your huge tree steps way farther than his. You reach the circle first.
Mm-hmm.
Oakfeld, for you, looking in here, you can certainly step through, but you would need to step into the water. This boat's too small for you. But no problem. You're 30 feet tall. This is a pond. Looking down, you see the seagrass kind of comes up a little bit, leaving maybe 3 feet of crystal clear water. You see tiny little silvery fish darting through. There are dragonflies in the space beyond. It is quite beautiful. And you see this grass that grows up. Here and there, it reaches the surface where it forms flowers. Beautiful, almost emerald-like petals. It is quite a beautiful place. However, you will probably have to walk. It shouldn't be too hard for you.
Speaking of the difference of cultures, I forgot to ask your namesake. I am Oakheart, because the many bores of my chest have left my heart open to all. What is the namesake of you, Aluso?
What?
Your namesake.
Your name. How'd you get your name?
I've said it. I
Not
am
what
the
is
great
it?
wizard Eluso.
Not what is it?
How is it? It's fine.
But does it not tell a story?
No, it tells my name. That's what it is. It's a name. That's what a name is. It tells you what it is. It's a name.
A name tells you where you've been. Who
No.
have you been?
No.
What do you mean to everyone?
No, a name does not tell you that. Conversation tells you that.
Well, you see, I got the name Wavebreaker due to a funny little incident that involved a tidal wave and a village that I helped save. Great story.
Wavebreaker. That is a beautiful name.
I had another name before, didn't like it quite so much. I like Wavebreaker instead.
Oakhart, Wavebreaker, Aluso.
The great wizard
Aluso.
Eluso.
Sorry, full title. You
Head
did
of
all-
the Bright Academy.
Chief Head Department Director Extraordinaire. So, Aluso, are you
Assistant.
stepping onto this rowboat?
Yeah, it's like it's basically through this next archway.
Correct.
onto
can
the
either step
rowboat or
into
into the
rowboat or
water.
into the water. Yeah, you got those choices.
Is it like a dex check to make sure I land on it, or?
If you would like it to be, you can.
I
But
don't
no,
want
I was
it
just
to
going to
be.
let you take
Okay,
a
cool.
step.
I'm gonna take
Uh,
a step then.
No problem. You take a step, and the boat rocks a little under your
Oh.
foot, but no problem.
I don't fall in.
Okay, there you go. So
I'm
you
gonna
don't
jump
fall.
into it.
You jump into the
Oh.
boat?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You
Now
leap,
probably dex
jump
save.
into the boat. Go ahead and make a dex save now. Yeah.
That I might not. I might not fall in. 11.
11. You barely hang on. You take a very ginger step in. You take another very ginger step in. You feel a bit rock. And with that little rock, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You have to like really settle your old man legs. You finally find your footing. And suddenly the whole boat lurches forwards as Kendall
I
jumps
fall
in, kind of like scooting the whole thing about 5 feet.
Probably fall back into the seat like ah!
Yeah.
Almost
And
fall out.
as that happens, they're gonna feel a massive tree person make a kind of a not a big splash, but a splash enough
So
to probably
you
get some
push
people
forward
wet.
more.
Absolutely. So you fall back into this thing. You're about to fall off, and suddenly you hear, and the whole boat rocks forwards. You now pinwheel forwards, falling almost face first into Kendall's lap.
Ah!
But Oakfeld, you step into this cool, crystal clear water. You feel around your legs. These little fish kind of dart off, almost like picking little microbes and things away from you. You can stand, and it really comes up only to about your belly. You're easily able to walk through this, no problem. The boat begins to move. Without you guys trying to do anything, very slowly it begins to make its way across. You see...
Just sitting there like
Yeah. Aside from looking straight down where you can see the beautiful kind of crystal clear water, this is a very mist-strewn lake. Looking through here, you see after the first 10 feet, suddenly little bits of floating greenery begin to pass, and suddenly Oakfeld. And for all of you, you cannot see the bottom as you are now moving through a huge cranberry bog. Cranberries, blueberries, each grow as large as ping pong balls here in the Feywild. They look juicy and bright. You can see all around you these these signs of life. Huge berries, croaking frogs in the distance. Oakfeld, for you, the experience has one more note added to it. As you push through this beautiful place, mist-strewn though it may be, and maybe 40 feet in the distance you see the glowing elements of another circle. You feel things reaching for your legs. As you walk, these beautiful growing berries and life, you are reminded that all of this is sustained by that which came before. You feel underneath dead things reaching out, not to pull you down, but it is a reminder that for all of this life, there is other stuff beneath. But you walk, this being relatively unperturbing for you, as the natural order of life and death. But the words of the person in that previous space certainly ring in your ears. The boat drifts, and you see this new circle loom into your sight in front of you. You see a crane in the center of this, clutching a spider in its beak. As your rowboat moves, it passes underneath this archway, and the boat disappears. You sitting, your feet kind of unfold almost naturally underneath you, and you find solid ground. Give me just one moment here.
What a lovely experience. Don't you think so, Illy? What's it?
Yeah, I chose the same song.
I just glare. I'm just like
Careful, your face might freeze that way.
glare harder.
Walk following.
The two of you, as this boat disappears, your feet kind of find wood. Oakfeld, for you, you step out, your foot barely fits, as this is a 3-foot wide wooden walkway. You all look around, that mist thicker here, and you cannot see off the sides. If you were to kneel down and kind of reach, there's nothing beneath you. You just see mist And here and there around you, you can hear thunder rolling above, below. It's disorienting. For a little bit, if your feet were not on this kind of path, you wouldn't know which way is up. There is no sun. There is no, in this ever dusk, it is hard to tell. And it would be very easy to become disoriented here. In this mist, you see faint blue shimmers. As any element of light hits it, almost like the mist here has an oily sheen. And then, just this, you feel rain begin to hit. A pleasant rain with a minty coolness that gently falls around you. The thunder rolls again. You begin to walk. This seems to be a long path. And I need everybody to make an acrobatics check.
Oh,
As you begin to walk
Jesus.
and the wind blows. The rain, as gentle and nice as it is, makes this quite wet.
Oh my god. An acrobatics check?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 18.
Okay. Aliso?
3.
Nice. Okart.
16.
Okay. Okart, you take that first tentative step. And as you do, for the first time in a very long time, being away from the ground, almost reaching for the soil, the roots kind of stretch around the wood, holding you firm. They kind of snap and pull back into your form as you take a step, and then immediately look around the wood, every step that you take, keeping you anchored. For you, Kendall, you just walk. This path, 3 feet wide, easy enough for you, and even with the wind, and especially with the rain.
This is pleasant.
This is very nice. You find your footing almost more sturdy when it's damp. For you, Aluso, you see this tree just walk across. You see Kendall just step across.
I'm like,
You're the great wizard Aluso. This is a walkway.
It's a illusory walkway, of course.
Yeah. You take a step out and immediately your foot slips and you, pinwheeling your arms, begin to fall. If either of the two of you would like, either Okart or Kendall, you can make a dexterity saving throw to try to catch to Aluso before he falls to his death.
Add a +4 to that if you're within 10 feet of me.
You are.
12 plus 4, so
Okay.
16.
16.
Plus the other 4.
Oh,
Plus the other 4!
I don't know where you're going for that. That's 20.
Yeah, what
oh
is
yeah,
this?
sorry. I thought you meant roll a d4.
No!
I thought you were like pulling out a calculator. So, with that, so you go to reach, and for a moment, your hand almost misses Aluso, and Aluso, you feel like the last little bits, feeling the inspiration from Kendall behind you, the water almost intensifies. You feel nourishment from the rain, and your hand stretches, growing in an instant, a couple extra inches. You feel Okart's fingers wrap around yours and pull you back to the walkway.
I'm gonna angrily take out my quill and notepad. I'm writing in it, putting it back in.
Worth noting, as you write, it's raining, so the ink begins to run and drip off the page.
Still doing it.
No problem.
Almost fell to my death.
This is a complaint you're writing about Abernathy's experiment.
Yeah, I'm writing. I'm listing
Fantastic.
out. I was already assaulted by wolves after being forcibly teleported to a different plane,
Yeah, that's against school rules.
followed by put in an uncomfortable situation with a morning satyr.
Not specifically against school bylaws.
Forced to travel by boat in unsafe waters, and
Also not explicitly.
and
against rules. We're learning very important
almost
details about the
falling
Brand
to my
Academy.
death before being saved by a giant tree who I earlier saw murder a living bear, a bear
to a-
human thing.
Yeah, out of all of that, it's just against your will being forcefully moved to a different plane. That's against the rules. All the rest of that stuff is pretty okay.
As
It's all
as
his
I'm
fault,
like
though.
releasing my grasp around him, I would like to just have one of my vines just release his grip of his pen and say,
What do you do? Give me that.
Do you not listen to Kendall? You may find beauty
Oh.
here.
Make competing athletics checks as you try to pull this out of this old.
I mean, he's
man's
gonna get
hands.
it.
I know.
Ooh, maybe not.
6 plus 4, 10.
11.
So you go to like pluck
No one
this off.
fucks with my quills.
And so with all the strength, this is like the real old man strength. He yanks on the quill, and the tiny little, like almost like little bits of root that were holding it just snap.
It's a little back and forth.
Yeah, just super brief, and then you snap the quill away. Really, Oakfell just not investing a lot in this competition, more than anything.
Put down your instruments.
Let me finish.
Do you not see? While there is nothing to see with your eyes, there is something to feel with your heart.
I feel
Nature
wet.
is not always what you can see. It is what you can know happens.
Some people are blind, okay, regardless of their actual eye status.
As you say that word, blind, suddenly you hear this little, and out of the mist, this little bat floats out. Being a Feywild bat, bright green, you can see like little tufts of pink fur that come off of it, and every flap of its wings, you can see these little fireflies off of it, and it just off and kind of illustrating the blind point, disappearing into the mist.
Book away.
See, he's talking to you, really.
My name is Illuso. I am the greatest wizard of illusion magic this side of the continent. Not
And,
this
and which continent might that be?
What is a continent?
You guys gotta keep walking?
Yes.
Kendall starts to walk. As Luso just like melts for a second, you guys turn and continue on your path, satisfied that you have broken this human. You take a few steps further, and Aluso, you watch as this giant tree form and this only slightly smaller Genasi form begin to disappear in front of you.
You know, like, touch in front, make sure I'm not gonna fall again.
Touch
And
in
make
front.
my way to, like, I'm gonna, like, follow their path, but very cautiously the whole time.
It's strange.
Each step.
With each step that you take, it almost feels less like it's the moisture, and almost like the wood slips a couple inches every time that you take a step. For you turning back as you cross and then seeing Aluso's final steps, you see the wood physically shift to pull his feet just a little far. You see the ankles turn just a little bit with each step, just making this a very uncomfortable walk. You never feel as if you're about to fall, but you certainly feel as if you were being fucked with. The Feywild
God
hears
damn
your
it,
complaints.
Abernathy. You mother...
I'm just chuckling
Yeah.
the whole way.
After 50 feet of walking, this next circle comes into view. You see the icon of a monkey upside down with a pair of bones clutched in their tail. Beyond this, you see the floor is carpet, and through the ring, you see you are inside. It looks like a wooden castle, perhaps, with high ceilings, although from here hard to see. The light is different colors, and as you look inside, it looks almost as if it's being filtered through stained glass.
Which way do we go?
I am not sure.
Well, where are we going? This is taking too long. I want to get back. I have
We're
papers
not
to
in
grade.
any area that I'm familiar with yet.
No.
Okay.
You can kind of see through the space, this castle, off to the left, an endless fall. Off to the right, an endless fall. There really is only one path forward.
I'm going that way then.
There you go.
I'm continuing cautiously as well.
There you go. You step forward into the space. As you step beyond, your feet find soft carpet. You enter into a beautiful space that looks like the interior of a wooden castle. You see the high ceilings. You could see arched stained glass windows. However, not stained glass. The wind blows through and you see beautiful, almost translucent flowers shift and move, and this beautiful light coming through. seem to almost splash and dance across the floor. This is not a castle. Looking around at the wood, even the carpet is moss. This is a place that was grown to this form. You can see, I would say, who here speaks Druidic?
I believe I do.
Please.
Oakfell,
Not
make a
common tongue.
Oh, no, I do not.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
As you guys walk, you
It's
do
draconic.
notice within these flowers there seems to be patterns, symbols, although none of you see any real meaning immediately jump out.
As a ranger, do you?
I don't
think so, no.
Druidic is a druid
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, I thought there might be
They want to make them
a
different.
subclass that has it.
However, as you step through also, turning to your left, you see this other, no more than 40 feet away, the next circle. It depicts a herd of buffalo over top, with one holding a bucket in its mouth. Between you and that portal, there are 6 pedestals, each one mossy cobblestone that rises from the ground. Tiny sigils in Sylvan on each one. Do any of you speak Sylvan?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Look at that, everybody does. On each pedestal, there appears to be an item. And from all of you, without any check, as they hover above the pedestal and seem to turn in space, they are certainly magical. On the front left pedestal, you see a staff that seems to be carved of pearl, with gems along the shaft that seem to shimmer with various wisps shaped like creatures. For you especially, Eluso, it looks almost like individual illusions stored in the gems. The front right pedestal is simple to all of you. It is an acorn. But Oakheart, for you, there is something so primitively magical and powerful about this acorn, and for you alone, it appears to have almost a golden luster. You recognize this as a very important acorn. This is something that can grow a tree out very quickly. You've seen them before, or heard of them. On the center left pedestal, you see a pair of sandals, each one woven from thread that appears to be made out of like a crimson silk. Looking at them, they appear to be particularly adhesive, perhaps. The center right pedestal has a dagger with a handle of spindly, wire-formed gold dragon. So it looks like the handle is like an elongated, negative space golden dragon. The rear left pedestal has a saddle of birch bark woven with amber vines. And then the rear right pedestal has a spear of yew wood that naturally transitions from the pale wood to a dirty, almost bone-like tip. And that is what you see in this space. Through this other archway, you see for the first time the gateway closed to you. There's doors.
Was there anything that was written in Sylvan?
Oh, certainly. So, sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So, on the front left one, you can see this sort of staff of pearl. This is a staff of illusions. It has things stored within.
Ooh.
It works very much like a deck of illusions.
Ooh.
The front right, this golden acorn, it gives you the ability to cast. It basically gives you another ability to animate tree rather. However, it does not have the same time limit, and it does not have the same intelligence restrictions. This is a fully formed treant that will appear as an ally. The center left one, this pair of sandals woven from the thread of a crimson-legged spider. These are woven from the thread of crimson-legged spider silk. Not only are these adhesive, allowing you to climb at your normal walking speed, including upside down, they also make you resistant to poison damage. The center right, this dagger, this spindly gold wire-formed dagger, it speaks of giving you limited abilities like that of a golden dragon for a period of time. The saddle seems as if it will summon a mount of some kind, allowing you to transverse across the Feywild more effectively. The spear of yew wood speaks of extracting the living essence from the dead to nourish that of the living. All of these things spin in place, beckoning you to take them. Kendall. Right, Kendall?
Mhm.
For you, in the Feywild, when things like this appear, there's almost always something else at play.
I mean, I
would be
inspect
hesitant.
the illusion staff.
Make an investigation check. You see, I would be hesitant, Eluso immediately, right
Not
up front,
touching it,
looking
because
at
I know
this thing.
not to fuck around in the Feywild.
Sure.
I've probably been sent here a couple times already by Abernathy.
Possible.
That was not very good though. 11.
You investigate the staff, and it looks super pearlescent. And as you look, you can see in one of the gems like a little phantomy-looking elephant. In another, what looks like perhaps a dinosaur.
That's pretty illusion, right? That's
Seems
some
illusionary.
illusion right there.
Absolutely. You know, without even rolling, you can see that there's some illusion
Pretty
magic
tasty
here.
illusion.
There's usually always a price. You want to pay it?
I'm just admiring it. I'm not touching it or anything. I'm just inspecting the illusion magic in front of me. All this other trash can.
Is the gate beyond blocked in some way?
There is a doorway. For the first time, you see what looks almost like a quilted doorway. Green quilt, gold, what look like windows or window spaces, although you can see just wood on the other side. Definitely decorative. There is no handle, so it looks as if the doors could just be pushed open. And as you take a second to really concentrate for the first time, you hear like some notes of music coming from beneath the door.
Go up and kind of gently try the door.
Okay. You push the door just a little bit and it moves. You could walk through if you wish.
Door's open.
Take one last look at this staff of illusion. It didn't. Did it like have a little plaque that said what all of those were?
No, there's like notes in Sylvan. They seem to almost drift and float around, moving across the stone. They talk a little bit about the effects of the items.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like a little museum.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna move on. I don't need to see the other artifacts.
Okay, no
They're
problem.
Trash. They're non-illusion.
Okard, are you doing anything, or are you just going to the door?
Once I see the acorn, I'm going to think of my home.
Okay.
And I'm going to say,
Do you believe the grove weeps for me in my absence?
Sure. Fine.
I'm sure they miss you.
Just go back when you've finished taking us home.
Yes.
Yes.
Home
Yes.
where we all belong.
Well, you belong at your home, not at mine.
Do you open the door?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh!
Sorry, it doesn't. So if the slider,
Oh, shit.
I know, jeez. If the
Roll for
slider is all the
initiative.
way up, it like slowly slides back across. And so
It's like-
the water sound is very quiet, so it has to be.
Oh, I
turned
love
up
the
quite
water
loud.
sound.
Yeah. So. I like that. Jarring. I'm going to use that as an actual trick. However, you open the door. Beyond, you see a dining room in what is clearly a treehouse, so the proportions very strange. First of all, the table on the left-hand wall. You can see the floor of this place tiled in strange colored tiles. Those all form the left wall as well. And you see what looks like they certainly look humanoid, but as they turn, you see wearing a very nice button-up yellow, almost mustard-colored vest, and these very tight purple pants. This is a creature that none of you have ever seen before. Humanoid, but very rabbit-like in nature as well. Not a grunt.
I was gonna say Waluigi.
No, certainly not.
It's
This
Waluigi
is
and
a rabbit
Wario.
folk. You have never seen them. I would say, Okart, you've heard of these. They live in the Feywild, deep within. This one has a very strange look to them. The eyes somewhat manic. You see this energy within. You see the fingertips point together. The eyes light up, and he sees all of you enter. But because it is 10:05, this is where we're going to take our break before we meet Archie. So, Thank you guys for
Archie.
hanging out with us so far. Yeah, we're gonna come back in just about 10 minutes. It is 10:05. We'll be back at 10:15. We'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out with us through the break. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get our stuff all situated here. Should just let that go. There we are. So, you step through this door. You see the entire, or you don't step through the door, sorry, you open the door. You see on the left-hand side, the floor is the wall. A table against that, a human standing off from the wall. You see his eyes glowing bright as he looks at all of you. Are you all stepping through?
I'm behind you, so I don't know if I see much.
Yeah.
Pretty
All
small.
right. What about you? All right, Oakheart,
Yep,
you
let's do
step
it.
through. Kendall, you step through. Lusa, you follow the other two. Not really clear as to what's going
I'm
on
just
in
trying
this
to
space.
get out of this.
Everybody roll a d20.
Back to the fucking academy. Got grades to grade. Oh my god.
9.
9, okay.
Just a flat D20.
Yep.
One.
Okay.
17.
Okay. So, this individual, you see a rabbit folk-like person. The rabbit ears back behind the hat, or behind the head. You see, like, the beginning of the fur kind of going away, so he has, like, for a rabbit, like a bald spot. But these bright eyes turn, and you feel as if the world, like, expands around you. Oakfeld, Kendall seem to almost shift away from your vision, and he's just locked in on you. He turns, and for a moment, for the two of you, you feel a little bit almost like time is going slower. The lights around you seem to fade, and suddenly, it's like a spotlight is upon you. He turns, and all you see in the darkness beyond the spotlight is these big eyes, and he says, "I'm having a tea party. Oh, silly me, oh, silly my, I'll sip a sip of sipping tea and eat some cherry pie. What will you bring to my tea party?" He turns and he waves a hand out, and you see suddenly poof, a spotlight go onto a table and one chair out. You feel one of your feet step forward and then forward. What do you say?
What do I even have on my person right now? I just have my starting equipment, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't take anything from the other room?
I've got this little bag of sand.
You see, he, almost
like,
in slow
In
motion.
my fucking nightie,
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
Of course, yeah, you forgot the little bag of sand. You see the eyes glow
Reaching
bright. And he takes one little skip, the foot coming forwards. It's almost time slows down around him, and a single skip carries him floating across the distance between you and him. He floats. For you guys, you see the spotlight follows him, and he drifts in front of you 5 feet, and he bows down low. He puts out a hand, kind of grabs it back. You feel your feet carry you further and further, and then you sit at the table. A plate in front of you fills up. You see sand between bread, a sandwich. He turns and smiles. Looking over, you said, what did you roll?
9.
9. The eyes shift over to you. Oh man, I really thought I was going to be good at rhyming on the spot because I normally am. But man, today I had some differences in my routine, and that's making it harder than I expected. All right, so he turns to you. Your friend brought sand, and sand again. What will you bring in? And you see he turns again, and the chair opposite. Eluso. I couldn't remember the
The
name.
great wizard Eluso. How hard is it to remember?
The chair scrapes away from the table.
As classic Ophel, as he reaches in his pocket and produces acorn and pocket lint, but he does not have pants. He has no pockets at all.
Yeah.
He is a tree.
But he does still have acorns.
Okay.
So he's just gonna go,
Sticks
I
his-
provide the means of which we all are.
and I'm going to present some acorns in my hand.
Wrong! And he snaps. Oakfeld, you take
Damn.
6 points of psychic damage.
Is it like a giant hammer?
No, suddenly in your head, you feel your brain rattle with those words. And you see all of a sudden everything around you disappear, just these gleaming eyes. Your friend brought sand, and sand and sand, and what you bring, I do demand, falls in line with this sand. What do you bring? The hand and the arm stretches and stretches and stretches, and though he's about 15 feet away, the hand now right in front of you.
I'm trying to think, what do I have on me? I'm going to produce a stem.
A stem.
Mm-hmm.
From what?
One of my arms, just rip off a little small stem and provide him a stem.
Okay. You hand him the stem.
I think I got this with me.
He takes it. He looks. A stem, a stem. Oh, so sad. Sad is closer to sand than stem. And suddenly, you take 4 points of psychic damage as your brain rings. Perhaps this is hard for you to try. So many tears, you already cry. You see the eyes shift. The lights around you, Oakfeld, go out. And Kendall, they open. A spotlight over top. What do you bring? Your friend brings sand. Mind it not be a stem.
My friend brings sand, and I bring dirt. Scrape some off the bottom of my shoe.
His hand reaches out and suddenly he's next to you. You drop the dirt in his hand. He closes it in a fist. Your friend brought sand and you bring dirt. It works, it works, it works, it works. The chair scoots out and you feel your leg carry you closer and closer, and you sit down at this table. A shitty sandwich pops up next to you as well.
A dirt sandwich.
Just regular sand.
Uh-oh.
The light opens up on you, Oakfeld, or Oakhart again. This creature, Archie, this rabbit folk, turns and he stands far away. You see your friends far away at this table. The
Friends.
seats. Sorry.
Barely
Your traveling
acquaintances.
companions.
Bear.
The
Really
people you
guide.
walk next to for the last hour or so, sitting at this table, and it feels so far away. It feels colder around you. Your friends bring sand, your friends bring dirt. Mind your next guess. This one will hurt. What will you bring to my party?
I'm going to bring... I think I'm going to do one of those Boy Scout tricks where you get like a stick and you rub it against your leg to like make a little bit of fire.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it on a branch that's not on my body.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And I'm going to try to make soot.
Okay.
Which is... think
You rub these together, you see little bits of smoke rise up and bits of black drop down. One hits the ground, the other hits the ground, and then suddenly you see his little shoe slide in front of you. Bits of the soot fall down. Your friends brought sand and dirt, now soot. I find your soot upon my foot, and acceptable. He turns, the seat slides out, and as it does, you can see beyond a spotlight now shine on a new circle. We've sipped and supped, and sapped and souped, and now it's time to roam. You've worked so well as a group here, but now you're on your own. Goodbye. And suddenly, the whole room seems to tilt and turn, and you all begin to fall. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, each of you.
Oh,
please.
no.
You
You're
see
within
as you
10 feet of
plummet.
me, you can add 4.
Yes. You see as you plummet towards it, there is a picture
Hey.
of Archie, this rabbit folk, clutching a key in his hand. You see Oakfeld, for you in particular, this key, part of the archway, just seems to be like ivory. For the other two of you, this key is made of silver. And as you fall, you feel almost as if you might be able to grab it. What were your checks? saving throw,
Mine
sorry.
was a dirty 20.
Dirty 20,
21.
21.
17.
Wow. All
Plus
right.
the 4.
I added it.
As
Oh.
this room begins to shift and tilt, Oakfeld or Oakheart, your roots grow down and hold you onto the ground as you stumble towards this archway, falling through. Aluso, for you, you kind of use
I've been sitting
prestidigitation.
there.
You create this little illusionary cloud and kind of drift a little bit, stumbling but drifting through this gateway, no problem. And for you, Kendall, as you go through, you see the glint of this key. And if you want, you can take it.
Absolutely.
All right. You remove the key, and as you draw through, you see the next area. Give me just one moment here.
1, 2, 3. How many more circles are there?
Well, he was pleasant.
I've heard of them in tales they tell young saplings, but I've never seen one before.
Well, now you did.
Okay. As you land, softly, considering you were falling, but for all of you with excellent checks, finding balance pretty well, you land on some icy shores. It's cold here, Oakfeld, and you now know. Every place else, hard to tell where you've been, but you are far away from home. While still in the Feywild, you are in the Winter Court's realm. You are at the edge of the Feywild, or close. As you look behind you, you can see the ground not frozen. You are at the beginning of the Winter Court's territory. In front of you, you see an area that you perhaps have heard of. And for you as a water genasi and also a traveler of these places, you've been relatively nearby to this. Give me just one second. This is known as the Lake of Lost Memories. As you look down, you see frozen over lightly. This is a very, very cold, almost shimmering kind of lake, and beneath you see twisting eddies and shifts of moving. You recognize as you. What are your passive perceptions, actually?
15?
Okay,
16.
great.
11, I think.
For everybody but Kendall. Kendall, as you look down, you just see currents in the water. As a water genasi, you get distracted by the fact that this is motions of water underneath frozen ice. Very beautiful in its own way. But for you two,
Illusions.
almost, you see images in the water. And at first, Deluso, you want so badly to say, this is illusion water! But it's not. These are too real. They're ghostly, but you recognize these are real memories. And you realize almost at once, touching this water probably not a good idea.
Necromancy.
You don't get the sense that this is necromancy. In ways, less evil, but almost as sinister. There's something about this that is powerfully fey, and it almost seems to want to pull your memories from you.
Taking out my book.
You see also, frozen into this, frozen into the lake, there are, through the mists, several objects that pierce up through the ice. From where you're standing, you see off to the left what looks like branches from a tree kind of protruding through, frozen, a few leaves frozen forever into this structure. Center, dead ahead, maybe 30 feet, you see what looks like maybe the tops of a corn stalk. The little bits of fuzz from the top, elements of like bright white kernels, and then off to the right, a little distance, you see coral, shockingly bright blue coral jutting from the ice. Center, right in front of you, you see a very strange looking boat. This boat, unlike the other one, looks large enough to accommodate Oakfeld, were they to kind of stand dead center in the middle. Maybe two creatures on either side. It's a longer, flatter structure, like a skiff. There is an oar on either side, and as you look at it, not an oar, this is a pole meant to kind of push along. And everywhere that you kind of look and hear around, you can hear the ice cracking. It would be very easy to fall through, although perhaps you could just walk. Through the distance in the fog, you see there are other shapes protruding, but you cannot see them from here. What would you all like to do?
I might suggest.
Where are we?
The lake?
The Lake of Lost Memories.
Is this a place that I would have read about or
history check.
anything.
Yeah, I'd also like to.
Make a history check. And for you, Oakfield, make it an advantage.
12 plus. That's a 10.
A 10. You've never heard of this.
It's not illusion magic. It's not
Certainly
part
not
of my.
important.
15 and 17.
17.
The illusion books
With
didn't
a
say
17.
anything about this.
You know that any sentient creature, smarter than your run-of-the-mill beast, pretty much, if they touch this water, they'll have a chance, of course, to pull away. But if they're unable to do so, it's going to hurt. And you've heard the water pulls memories from you, making you forget, but also making you permanently stupider. In game mechanics, should you fail your dexterity saving throw upon being exposed to this water, your intelligence score decreases permanently by 1.
As I recall this memory, my body is going to bloom with forget-me-not flowers.
Okay, yeah. All up and around. Even at the snowy, kind of frozen ground, you see little bits kind of break away as forget-me-nots bloom around your feet.
And I'm going to relay this this information. This is the Lake of Forgotten Memories.
Lake of Lost Memories.
This is the Lake of Lost Memories.
Oh, this
Yes,
is what
yes.
this is what that satyr was talking about. The memory.
Please take one of each.
And I
Many
Give-
thanks.
forget-me-not, just one singular to
Was
each.
it an hour?
Might I suggest we take the skiff?
But we have flowers now.
Such a cheery friend you are.
You seem to not find.
Getting in the boat. Getting in the boat.
Okay.
I'm going to get in the boat, and as I'm saying, I'm going to say,
I sense your aura, Eliza. You seem to represent the clematis.
The what?
It is a flower. It represents frantic, yet recursive energy.
I think you hit on the nail there. Spot on, one would even say.
You all now stand on the skiff. The ice slightly cracks around you, water lapping at the sides. There are poles to push
I will
this
use
with.
the pole to push us.
Excellent. You can see again in front of you, it seems as if there are 3 different things that you can see. Branches of a tree off to your left. You can see dead ahead of you what looks like maybe the top of a piece of corn. And off to the right, you see that shockingly bright blue coral.
I'm just sitting in the boat,
Okay?
waiting to get moved to the next spot.
Do any of these strike me as being the next best?
Make a perception check. Let's see.
I'm
what you
looking
can
around to
say.
see if there's a circle visible
Okay, make a perception check
along
as well.
That's off 15.
15. You squint hard. You see the coral, almost like a brain coral, if that's helpful. You can see dead ahead this corn, definitely white corn as opposed to your yellow varietal. And as you squint at the branches of this tree, you see some of the leaves reminiscent of maybe like an olive tree. You're looking for a circle?
dirty 20.
Dirty
Yeah.
20. You look, squinting your human half-elf eyes out and into the distance. You don't see a circle. You see other shapes. You see other things jutting from the ice. And as the ice cracks around you, you'd imagine there's probably a safer path than others through here.
Can I map out the safe path by what I see, or
Certainly not.
okay?
You see that there is 3 objects, like roughly equidistant in front of you, and beyond those, there seems to be another row of 3 objects.
Okay, so
It
it's probably
seems
have
as
to
if there
stay
is
within there.
certainly like
Yeah.
channels that you could stick to.
Okay.
Start pushing
Which direction?
through this way.
Okay.
You head straight. You begin to move towards this kind of ear of corn. You get a little bit closer. As you get a little bit closer, maybe within 10 feet or 5 feet, the ice begins to crack louder around you.
Go left, go left.
Suddenly, there is a loud and water up. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Add 4.
That's going to be so helpful for
I
this
know.
challenge. Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy. 1.
I feel like this is going to make so much sense as to how Oakfeld ended up the way he ended up. Oakfeld, your intelligence score goes down by 1 for the
How did you get
remainder of
1
the
with
session.
a +4?
Oh, I mean, plus the +4, but I'm
Okay,
down 1.
5.
So, yeah.
1 away from your intelligence score for the remainder of the session, at a minimum.
Forever.
We'll see. So, that happens for you.
Depends how many more times it happens.
What'd you roll?
I actually got 13 plus 1 plus 4 is an 18.
Okay.
19.
19. Oakhart, as this splashes up,
I'm not
you
getting
aware
dumber.
of what's going to happen? You
lose my
spread your body open. The forget-me-nots
Academy.
bloom even broader. Most of the water falls onto these flowers, an extension of your body. As you feel memories sliding down with the drips of the moisture, it's almost as if springtimes melt away and into the water below. You feel your intelligence drop.
While you're in there, why don't you start paddling or something?
I didn't actually fall in. I just.
No, it just
just dip,
splashes
yeah.
you from this
Um,
kind of almost little geysers.
I'm probably gonna just. You can see me trying to mutter a word that I can't think of,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna just
Bricks.
snap back to reality when Eluzo says that.
Yes, I could. And
I'm gonna take a branch off
Okay.
of me and make sure it's off of me first, and then I'm gonna use it to help paddle.
Sure, no problem. What direction are you all paddling in?
I'm going to take us in the direction of the coral unless Luso
So, like,
makes a
stay
compelling
stay
argument.
close but clear of the coral.
Okay. You use the oars to push a little bit further, kind of drifting off to the right now. You push away from the ear of corn, eagerly moving it further away. And as you get within 10 feet of this coral, you hear the cracks begin again.
Turn away.
And I need everybody to make a dexterity check at advantage, as you now know what is coming. But the ice around you shatters, spraying water.
Still plus
across
4?
this boat.
Still
Yep.
+4 as long as you are within
Yeah.
10 feet of me.
And
Nice.
because of the size of this boat,
20! First 20 of the
very
ever.
nice. Of the ever.
15?
15, okay.
25.
25.
24.
This time, all of you, as you hear the ice, this time you hear Lucy go, back up, and both of you begin to oar furiously, using these poles to kind of push you along. The ice and the water splashes across where you just were. You now see the ice kind of begin to freeze again. Off to the left, you see the only place you have not gone, these olive branches that extend from underneath.
To the tree.
There you go. You push the ice parting around you, and as you get within 10 feet of the olive branches, nothing seems to happen. You drift closer and closer, and you pass them. The mist parts a little bit more in front of you. You see, dead ahead, a dead rat, frozen, just the head kind of protruding, one tiny little arm, almost comically, like a Terminator style, reaching from the frozen water.
One of the archways was a rat.
Off to your left,
Had
you
a rat
see
in its mouth.
what looks like maybe a beetle of some kind. A cicada, almost entirely up, the wings open in flight, frozen, just a couple legs trapped beneath.
Abnormally large.
A little bit larger than normal, but not like freakishly large.
Okay.
It's big enough that you can see it. And then off to the right, you see the tops of maybe a boulder of some kind, bits of frozen moss clinging to it.
Looking down off the side of the boat, is there anything like beneath us that you can see through
Make a
the
perception check.
ice? Like, looks like at the top of a mountain.
Maybe.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Nice. That's 220.
You look and you look hard. For a moment, everything fades away.
What
The
are these
cracks of the
illusions?
ice kind of mute in your ears. You don't see Oakfell. All you see is the swirling, channeling eddies of the water and the memories below. And you see suddenly one of the memories kind of spread out in front of you like a tapestry. You see a dragonborn stepping forth, this dark, black, crumbling rock with a volcano in front of them. You can see they look up, their scales almost peeling away from their body, like a disease has taken grip of them. And you can hear they just say, "Why have you abandoned us? Why?" And then you see this memory just away. You look down to where it went, and you see just the bit of rock floating above, almost cleanly cut, like a prop frozen above. You turn, you look over, you see this dead rat, the entire body kind of extending below the surface, a whole rat. And as you turn and look at the cicada, those legs that are trapped, they don't appear below. Certainly, the rat seems different than the other two.
Yeah. Go towards the rat.
Okay.
You push this craft. The ice parts around it, and as you get closer and closer to this dead rat, it is just that, a dead rat. You pass by it without issue. In front of you now, you can see what looks like a human foot, dark, frozen flesh, still clinging to bone. Looking off to the left, you can see what looks like maybe, oh gosh. Yeah, no, you would know what this is. You've seen glass before in Everest. It's not super common. There are other substitutes that can be used. But you see what looks like just a pane of window turned to the side, almost like a diagonal, halfway through the ice. You also see what looks like a bone, a femur bone specifically, protruding far off and to the right.
There's something about a bone on one of the arches. Go that way.
Got us through the last one.
You almost push the boat sideways. This is very much like a Frogger kind of thing that's happening now. But as you get closer to the bone, the ice does not crack, and you pass by without issue.
Good on you, Ellie. Keep
You
going.
see 3 more shapes and then a larger 4th beyond. This large shape, a large half circle rising from the water. You see what looks like a similar alabaster circle to the ones that you've passed through before. This one, hopefully, the final one between you and your exit. As you get a little bit closer, you see the 3 objects in front of you. The first, again, the tops of some kind of a tree, although darker, twisted, a dead wood of some kind. That's dead ahead. Off to the left, you see a little glint, and then metal, maybe as you turn, a bucket. And off to the right, a face. But as it kind of nears, not a face, looks like a scarecrow, the top half protruding from the ice.
Go left. To the bucket.
Bucket.
Okay.
Right away.
You push this craft, you near the bucket, and as you draw close to it, it disappears. All of these shapes just disappear out of the ice.
Illusions?
Not illusions. You can see the ice leaving holes behind as it slowly kind of heals up. But the door itself, as each disappears, seems to form more and more real in front of you. And as this ship, you guys stop pressing the kind of sticks that you guys are propelling yourself along with, the craft still moves, and you feel yourself pulled towards this door. As you get closer and closer, you can see you are looking down a long frozen elements where you see wood jutting out, elements of frozen water. You realize that you are peering down into a well. And as this craft goes through, I need everybody to make a dexterity save as gravity reverses and you begin to fall.
Bad form.
This character, really good for this one shot.
Yes.
Really good for this one shot.
Oh my god.
11.
Okay.
Mine was a +4 math 23.
Okay. Wow. Okay, the old man energy definitely kicking in.
I'm not getting.
Wait, it's dex save?
Yes.
Oh, I can add my fucking. Ooh, my dex.
You can swear.
Yeah, my dex modifier.
Yeah.
+6. So, what did I say? 11, so 17.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah, I totally blew it.
All of you, as
Not
you
gonna
pass
die.
through, the ship disappears and you are falling. Oakfeld, as you fall first, you spread your arms and legs and you feel them grow until you stop in the well, almost forming like a makeshift walkway. But then Kendall and the great wizard Aluso fall onto your back. You hold strong. The two of you now sit on Oakfeld's back as Oakfeld, you stare down what looks like a close to a 60-foot drop. You see this well in total about 15 feet across, made of crumbling mortar and blocked stone. Elements of woodwork and crumbling stone you could hold on to descend. Although even as you look, you see one of these things just fall and down to the bottom. Certainly untrustworthy. Ice, brittle wood wrapped in this twisted metal wire, kind of jutting out, descends like obstacles about 60 feet to what appears to be a shimmering white portal below. On the other end of this portal, for those of you that can see down, you see blowing wind. For you, Oakfeld, you see very clearly the territory of the Court of Winter and what must be beyond the gateway of shadows and snow. What would you all like to do now sitting on Oakfeld's back?
How high up are we? 60
I'm
feet?
looking. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
kind
so
of
you
looking
look down,
over
it
the
looks like
edge
it
of them.
drops 60 feet, and almost by instinct, you're like, all right, you look up. The well seems to go almost impossibly high. You see way up, but almost impossible to count. The wall becoming much more uniform as it rises. The curvature of the emerald green sky of the Feywild above. You are still there, but hard to tell how far down you are.
I am totally unable to do anything useful.
You don't have illusions that can help you down a 60-foot drop? Well, you're illusions. You're the head of the illusion
I
department.
could spend 10 minutes to make it look like the bottom of the well is closer.
To make it look like I can hype myself up better if you give me 10 minutes.
How does animate tree work? Does it work like, can it just come from a tree that's already there, or can I like grow a tree to make it happen?
So typically, animate tree, you would need another tree there, and you can kind of put your influence onto it. There are certain items that you've heard about. They typically appear kind of like acorns with a slightly golden hue that you could target with that and make it just appear wherever you were to put that acorn. If only you had one.
I know.
It's really fun to give you guys all the tools you need and then know that you're not going to take them.
Yeah. I'm taking out my book and I'm writing in it after I look over the edge. I'm like,
Well, start getting us down. I don't know.
How crumbly is the wall?
You reach over and you take a finger and
Extra
run it down the
crumbly.
side. Mortar crumbles away, and you leave a little gouge in the wall. Pretty crumbly. But as your finger comes down to one of these stones, it stops. There are places that certainly you could hold on to that will be stable. Hard to tell where those are.
I could get everyone down if they climb aboard me, but if I fall, then you would fall with me.
I'd rather fall on top of you than down there.
I am a wood who floats, and I will float you to safety if
I'm
have
gonna
to.
take out my small knife, which I think is just a letter opener,
Okay.
and get it ready so that if he falls, I can like try to jab it into the wall so
Okay.
I don't fall to my death.
I love that. Definitely not going to work, but I love the
Yeah.
effort. So, how are you going to float them down?
Oh, I was just like metaphorically
Great.
like.
Make an athletics check. Make it a disadvantage as you ferry two creatures on your back using your hands and feet
Yeah, I'm gonna
to,
climb down.
to like shimmer down. Yeah, or to shimmy down.
The float was more of like if I fall in the water, they can
Sure.
use me as a life preserver as I die.
Yeah.
Use my body as a life preserver.
I can get myself
15 plus.
to keep you two down.
But if you're getting a free
18.
ride, why not? 18?
Yeah.
Okay. It's difficult with two creatures on your back, but you start by putting one hand down and then one foot down and then one hand down and then the other foot down. You've moved 4 feet. You do it again and again. Over the course of the next half hour, your arms burn. Your roots and your bark ache in ways that they never have before. But after roughly half an hour, you get down to the bottom of this well, and you see the gateway in front of you, and you recognize the landscape again shifts. If you had fallen down, you would have been spat out with 60 feet of momentum straight into a wall. So that would have really sucked. You can see like a canyon wall beyond. Wind howls through on the other side. And you know, just taking a step down, it will be a weird step because you're going to step out and then immediately be like curving your leg down.
Kind of like ready and kind of hop off the side of him before
absolutely. For you two, way easier. As Oakveld stops, kind of trying to figure out what to do, you guys can literally swing your legs over, and as you fall standing into
It's
the
like
next
getting
area.
out of bed.
Yeah, a little bit. if you were to
If you
also
just went-
transport like dimensions slightly. However, Oakfell, they now off of you. If you want, you can just kind of let go and fall forward as they did.
If I fall, I would have you float upon me as if I were catching you. Would you do the same if I fall? Will you grasp me?
Of course, Oakart.
What? You're massive. You would. No.
As he says that, I'm just like not even paying. I heard yes, so I'm just jumping like a massive tree towards them.
You leap, and because of the way that the physics work, you just kind of come to a landing softly, about a foot further than the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Your roots find snow, and it is cold. And in this place, you hear strange sounds. You know that this is the Canyon of Echoes. And as you listen, you hear them. These weird, semi-whisper, shimmering sounds, things that are in ways unnatural, but in this place, strangely at home.
See? Easy peasy.
You said you would grab me. I know your
I never said
aura
I would.
now. You are the chrysanthemum. You are symbolizing hope for the future.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. See? If you're a
I
nice
symbolize
person.
hope for the future that I get to be back at the academy
Academy.
sooner rather than later.
What's so special about this academy? What makes
Most
it so you can't
illustrious
control it?
academy for magic in a greater part of the world than this.
Wow. And you kind of start, you hear this voice echo over the canyons. You look up, and up on one of these kind of high-rise, what looks almost like a bluff, you see an individual leaning on a staff. They have longer hair. You can see kind of older looking, not quite as old as you, the illustrious wizard Lucio, but certainly older looking, and you recognize, looking at him as he kind of hangs on the staff, probably a wizard as well. There's a look in the eyes.
What
he
kind of
hears
magic?
That, right. As you look at him, you see jutting from his skull an icicle. As it shimmers out, you see what looks like words embedded into it. You see the eye kind of twitch again. Well, I was expecting Caspin and Errol, but it appears they fell short on their task, huh? You're not going home. And no matter. You're not from here like me. You don't glisten or glow with the substance of the Feywild. You wish to return, I would imagine. And you too. Turns to you, Kendall. Although, maybe not. Feels as if you've spent some time in the Feywild.
I've done a bit of traveling.
Well, and he unfolds himself. You see, looks just like an older human, kind of up on the bluff. It's no matter. I'm freezing the thoughts in your mind.
Like
and
heck
I'll
you
bring
are.
them with me to the chiseled estate to be sorted. If you all bow now, I will make this painless for you. Resist, and we will destroy you. Mind and spirit before transporting you anyways. So bow. As you all look up and past him, up on this bluff, you see a dark gateway. And through it, shimmering, what looks like the edges of the material plane.
I bow only to the green matron.
How far away is it?
Maybe about 140 feet.
Is it like higher up or
Yeah,
anything?
also higher up. So this, would you like a visual to see?
Why not?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. And I can have everybody roll for it.
Oh.
He's not super pleased with you all.
Oh.
So fun fact, if you're within 10 feet of me, we have resistance to spell damage.
Oh,
Should
good.
be really handy, actually. Alright, so I'm going to trade with you. And do that.
I got that.
Nice.
You can see the bluff that he is on is the one that he is standing on.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Here, move the.
Yeah,
move
You guys got
the-
your minis?
Yeah. Move that old dragon boy.
We'll pull up our
You
combat
got it.
camera here. I can throw a close up so that we can
Alright,
see.
where are we? Like somewhere over
That's
here?
nice. So you guys are all right between the two trees facing that bluff. So to the left, closer to you, closer to you. Yeah, perfect. You guys can be right along that edge. Let me.
No one else up here that we can see? Just
That
this
you
guy.
can see.
Could be some illusions.
It'd be so exciting because
So the gate's like right here.
It's just so that bluff extends beyond the map, and it's just probably another 50 feet beyond that. Okay, so anybody with the natural 20?
Oh, I gotta roll it. Probably not though. Ooh, not bad though. For
He rolled a natural
the great.
20.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Uh,
25 to 20.
mine.
19. All right.
19 also.
Okay, neither are around 20, but that's okay. And then what did you get, Elisa?
18. Not bad.
Not bad.
Oakheart. And then 18.
So he's not waiting for a
Lucy.
response from us? Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty.
Do you know who you're talking to? I am the head chairmaster of the Academy of the Illusion Magic's Society of Head Chair
Twice tenured.
of the Bright Academy.
So at the very beginning of the combat, you hear Aluso yell that out. He bends over looking down at you and he says, I don't even know who I am. I certainly don't care who you are. He holds his hand out, and for all of you, suddenly the snow around your feet parts.
Illusion?
You see, no. You see a circle that certainly speaks of conjuration magic.
Oh, filthy conjurer.
And actually, technically, it is slightly off to your guys' right. So,
Over
easy
here?
enough.
Oh. Oof. Big oofs.
As this circle appears in the snow, you see these glyphs move. And though the stone doesn't move, you see these symbols begin to spin around it. And one by one, the symbols detach themselves from the stone and float into the air, forming this outline, and then the fur. And then suddenly, in front of all of you, almost the same height as you, Oakfeld, you see a massive white furred creature. This is an abominable yeti. You've heard of these things. Furious, abilities to manipulate cold, and you see behind him this mage smile wickedly. The abominable yeti is going to go in Kraskel's turn, and so he's going to take his actions right now. And because you guys are in such a good spot for it, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please. And yeah, add 4. I'm going to use Google for these dice. I don't have that many.
Yeah, that makes sense. What am I rolling?
So you are making a Constitution saving throw.
Woo! Okay. I like this one.
You guys are level 7, right?
15.
Yeah.
I
Level
like this
7.
cool dice.
All right. That was 15,
23.
23,
21.
21. Oakfeld, You are going to take 31 points of cold damage.
If it's a spell, it's halved because you have resistance.
Halved
Nice.
to 15. The other two of you are taking 15 points of cold damage. Halved to 7.
Oh, okay.
As this creature reaches out, and as it arrives, it's like the wind swirls around it, snow gathering at its back to form almost a keep.
Not looking great.
It roars, and as it yells, frost forms around you. On you especially, Oakfield, you feel in your bowels and your fingers the sap and the moisture freeze. Elements of the bark chip away. But for all of you kind of squinting through, the snow as it comes towards you, it feels as if it hit something else. And as you look, you can see Kendall. There's an element to their body, those kind of moving, almost, how did you describe the tattoo / scar kind of things? They're like waves
Like
almost?
waves almost.
The waves seem to almost be moving away from the body, pulsating energy, and it seems to be breaking elements of this ice before it can hit you. That is their turn. That brings us to Oakheart. Turn down our echoes.
I am going to see a forget-me-not float in the air coming off of me,
Okay.
and I'm going to just reach out and pluck it, put it to my ear, and then release it.
Okay.
Are you Isandra?
I hope I said the name right.
No, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So you say that, and the petal just seems to drift away.
Okay. Then I'm just going to cast, I think, Healing Spirit on everyone in my party around us.
Okay, sure. And remind me of how that looks for Oakfeld. Oakheart.
I think
Soon to be Oakfeld.
yeah, I think my body would turn from forget-me-nots to
You got the thingies
probably like yellow fennel,
for.
Okay.
and it will just be a growth that just comes out of my body, and then it just like flutters. All the fennel flutters out into everyone around
Okay.
them and engrosses them.
So you can roll healing for that when it's appropriate.
Do you have healing spirit things you want me to put on there?
So healing spirit,
Or
technically, I think it's supposed to, like in the flavor of the spell, it takes the shape of an animal, and it has like a place that it occupies
yeah,
on the board.
yeah.
So if you want, you can go ahead and take the super shimmery dice and just kind of place it there. That's the one that I got a natural 20 with too, so it'll help you out to
nice.
not have it here.
So
I'll
I think
leave it on
I think
my
when I
natural.
cast it, it automatically heals.
Yeah, so it automatically it's on the first person that it is. You're casting it on like an occupied space, I believe is
Yeah.
how it is. So who is it occupying the space of to begin with?
It's 30 feet, I think.
It can move 30 feet.
It can move.
Oh, okay. It's only one person's
So
space.
this usually it's like a creature
Yeah,
spirit.
then
It
just
has-
myself.
5 foot
Yeah,
cube
yeah.
you can see
Okay.
within range.
So I'll just roll for myself. Oh, wait, no, it's a D6. I'll do the health after. I'm just going to, at this point, nothing I can do. That's my
Okay.
turn.
No worries.
Yeah.
That's your turn. Oh, card. That brings us to Kendall. Luso, you're on deck. Kendall, from where you are immediately to your right, there's now a hulking, abominable yeti. And then grinning, maybe, I don't know, a good 70 feet away, you see this mage.
He's only 70 feet.
Something like that. Hard to tell.
Perfect. Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
Nice.
Okay. Moonbeam has a much larger range than 70.
Yes, it does.
So what is that? It's a deck save?
It is a Constitution save.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Rascal, what do you got for me here?
I'm looking for spells that
That's
are
going to be
good.
a 9, which
That
I'm
is
going
gonna
to
be a
guess.
failure.
That is a failure.
Oh,
Yeah, he can't counter that.
13 points of radiant damage.
Okay. 13 points. That's a pretty big hit. You see, all of a sudden, the clouds overhead from the snow, you see through it little bits of emerald, but all of a sudden, there's this stretch. And though there is no moon overhead, there's a burst of this bright moonlight that forms a column around this individual. It stays there, too, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It does. For a minute.
How big is it?
40-foot high cylinder, 5-foot radius.
5 foot radius. Okay, so not large. What you could do, go ahead and put this, you put that magic effect on the guy. And that's going to be the moonbeam. just kind of casting him in moonlight. For what it's worth, he is not a shapeshifter.
I didn't think so, but
Everybody always asks. So he is now awash in moonlight. You already dealt the damage. Anything else?
that is my turn.
Fantastic. Kendall, Eluso. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna cast Mirror Image on myself.
Fantastic. So how many versions of you does that make?
I think it makes 4?
It should-
3. 4 including me.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we don't have a monk, so take these 3 stunned tokens. Those are you. For all of you suddenly around Eluso, one of the worst things that could possibly happen, more of them appear. And you now see multiple versions of Eluso all kind of moving around. I'm imagining it very like Agent Smith-like with like the hands moving around. More just for appearance and to kind of create a better illusion. Alright, so there are multiple of you.
And then bonus action.
Mhm.
I don't have any bonus actions.
Excellent. Bonus action, nothing. That is your turn. That brings us to this mage up on top.
At
So,
the start of his turn, he makes a Constitution saving throw or takes more damage.
right. That's pretty good. That is going to be a 19.
That'll succeed, but he's still taking half.
Yes.
Nice.
That is 12.
12 points of damage?
Yes.
Can't see on your.
That's halved?
No, that's.
Oh,
the
okay,
total.
okay. That makes more sense. Much more sense. I was going to say that would have sucked to get hit full on by. So he's still kind of shielding his eyes from that. Takes a few steps forwards. If you could move him to the edge of that so he's out of the moonlight. Taking 10 steps of movement to get out. He is then going to see a massive tree person, 4 Eluzos. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. You see the clouds begin to move again. Do you still have the template?
Yes.
Let me see this real quick. Thank you. All right. So, it's the whole thing. Great.
Nice.
So, right over everybody but the Yeti.
Like right there. Wait, a cone?
No. This is a circle.
Oh,
This is a 20-foot
damn.
radius, 40-foot high cylinder. You see up on the top of the hill, this mage reaches down, grabs a pinch of the snow. He throws it out into the air and spits. The spit passes into the snow and goes, curves up and into the sky. You see the clouds move, and suddenly ice begins to fall. A hail of rock hard ice. And I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
+4.
+4 is that's nice. We like the +4s. Nice! Oh my god, this thing is. I'm not gonna jinx it.
That's a good idea. All right. What do we got, guys?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
22.
22.
18.
18. All of you succeed on the saving throw. However, you are taking 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Halved.
I have
and
resistance to that.
Yes. if
You
you're
do.
within
You
10
have resistance to magical bludgeoning damage as well.
Oh, I
So-
do.
So great thing about treants, which I love, they're
I love
resistant to bludgeoning and piercing damage, period. Not from a magical or non-magical thing, just period.
I did not know. I thought it was just regular.
Treants
Okay.
are awesome. I love
Within
treants.
10 feet of me, you have resistance to any spell damage.
So you are actually still taking then the full bludgeoning damage, but you are taking half from the cold damage that you're about to take, which is
So we're taking 4? Half of half?
Yeah, quarter.
you take 13 points of cold damage, halved to 6,
Halved.
halved again to 3.
Okay.
Yeah, your character for
Your
this
character's
particular one
Keeping
shot
me from
phenomenal.
dying.
What class is this?
As these
That was
hailstones
ancient
smash around around you, they get larger and larger, and you recognize, especially for you, Oakfeld, who can do a similar thing, the area around all of you is now considered difficult terrain, the 20 feet around. This ice continues to fall, and you would imagine it's probably going to continue to do so for a little bit of time. That is going to be his action, his movement. Now it's on for the Abominable Yeti. Kendall, make an athletics check, please. Oh, so lucky. So lucky.
23.
Okay, he rolled a 3,
Nice.
which is 14.
Damn.
So you got really lucky. He goes, you can see as his roar dies in his mouth, the frost crystals in the kind of beard around. He reaches forwards and goes to grab you. And the fingers, these dark fingers, reach around. You reach out and hold the thumb and the forefinger and just force the hand away. He turns kind of confused. That is his first attack. He is going to take one more claw attack.
Okay.
Not trying to grab you. This is going to be much better. That's a 29 to hit.
Yes.
All right. And that is going to be 6 points
Can
of
make
slash.
it
Oh, sorry.
look
13
like-
points of slashing damage plus 3 points of cold damage. It is not magical damage.
Okay.
These claws almost naturally pulling the cold with them.
What's the total?
The total for that, I don't know, man. I need help with that. The last thing was 3. The other was 7
Six.
plus 13 plus 3, 16 total.
16.
So, slashes with those 2 claws, and then he is going to look up right at you, Eluso.
Reddit. Elusos.
Yes, and all of your Elusos can make a Constitution saving throw.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
+4.
Okay. That'll be helpful, hopefully. Wait, that's not the one. This is the one. Oh, that shouldn't have been the one. +4? That's a 10.
A 10
Yeah.
total
Yeah.
with the +4 and your modifiers?
Yeah, I rolled a fucking 3. I jinxed it.
Oh boy.
It's like 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, like the whole time. And then I said something, and now it's 3.
You are going to take 23 points of cold damage.
Holy shit.
Have a spell.
It is not a spell.
Fuck.
This is the chilling gaze action. And additionally,
Oh shit. That was 24 points?
23. I believe.
23? Okay. And
Why, does that make a difference?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was close.
And
Each
you
point counts.
are considered
When you're A
paralyzed.
squish. Oh, damn.
As the gaze kind of this is petrified, but it's paralyzed. You could just put that there because I can't find it quite yet.
Does that
Oh,
count
wait.
as a targeted
Sorry.
attack?
Paralyzed.
I'm paralyzed. And all my other
Does
guys
it
are
count as a
paralyzed.
targeted attack?
Yeah, because
Yes.
I don't think it matters for my mirror image, though.
So for your mirror image, it doesn't, because this is a
Because
saving
it's not.
throw.
I'm not
it's not a
targeted
weapon attack.
with an attack, right?
Yeah. So currently, you are paralyzed. You feel the ice cling to your body. At the end of each of your turns, you can try to break free, repeating the saving throw. It hurts, and you would imagine the longer you stay frozen, the more damage you're going to take.
Oh boy. So if I
That's
stay
unfortunate.
damaged at all,
So you frozen solid. Is that a concentration spell?
no mirror
Okay,
image. is not.
fantastic. So though you are
Thankfully.
frozen, all of your illusions
They're still going.
still moving around. It's still the RPG like static fight move. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So
Which way am I gonna go?
that is the Yeti's turn. That's going to bring us to Oakheart. Kendall, you're on deck. Aluso, you are in the hole. What would you
Okay,
like to do?
animated tree. That spell.
Yeah.
Is it creating a CR creature called a creature called Awaken Tree? CR.
No, so it is it is a treant stats with the only difference being treant.
Treant.
So, yeah.
Oh, tree.
So
Oh, okay.
it's full
That is
treant
neat.
stats, which is like crazy high. Additionally, I think it's the charisma and the wisdom scores are 1, but if you look at the
treant.
effect, it will tell you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do that anyways.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna animate. I can animate 1 or 2. It says.
Yeah.
So I'm going to animate this one,
Okay.
and I think I'm going to animate this one.
Okay. Let's see.
Nice.
I will pull out some. I don't have any animated tree ones, but what I do have.
Oh, we
say
just
that
can't use
those.
the trees?
We'll say that those trees are charmed.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
They're
So
such charming trees.
as you reach out, Oakfeld, for you, a leader of your
Aww.
a leader of your community. You've done this before. There is an elaborate ritual for awakening trees. It's too early for these, but you can do it for a time. You reach into their minds, into the core of their being, into the wood, and you ask it to sing with its voice that only it has, just for a moment, just for this moment, wake. And suddenly these two trees, the ice cracks away as the limbs move and the trees lift themselves from their roots. You now have two more large allies on the battlefield.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, real nice. Anything else? Oakhart.
I believe I'm just going to move my healing spirit to Eluso. As my bonus action. And that's all I can do.
The healing spirit passes through the ice. These kind of natural elements closing around your body. You can roll healing for that, even though he is paralyzed. The healing does take hold.
No, you should roll
Okay.
your spell.
That's my turn.
Excellent. Oakhart, that is your turn. Kendall, what would you like to do?
Bonus action, I'm chasing him with the moonbeam.
Okay, so as he takes the 10 feet of movement forwards as a bonus action, you take your arm and you pull, and the light seems to come with you. You can see again his eyes as he crouches down low, and it begins to burn at his skin.
Constitution saving throw.
Much less good.
Much less good.
That's 5.
That is 16 points of radiant damage.
Dang. Okay, hang on one sec. Where am I trying? You said 16 points of radiant damage?
Correct.
All right. This time, as it pulls across him, you can hear, even over the wind and even over the sounds of the melee, this loud as the skin begins to drift up into this beam. You see elements of hair pulled off and away. He's starting to look pretty hurt. He's also going to have to make a concentration check,
Nice.
which he's
the
fine with.
concentration.
And then
He's looking pretty hurt.
I'm going to take my 2 attacks against this Yeti.
All right.
Am I like frozen in a block of ice, paralyzed?
No, it's like clinging to your body, and like it
Like a layer of frost over your car in the morning
yes,
after a
much
rain?
more like that, but a little bit more intense as well.
More hurdy.
Yes.
First one is a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
And I'm going to add a level of Divine Smite to this.
Okay.
Nice.
Fantastic.
It's 8 slashing and 8 radiant.
So 16 points of damage total. Your left hand, or whatever your non-dominant hand is, yanks the moonbeam forward, and at the same time you draw the longsword, and in a flash, you begin to carve it across this creature. It seems to do full damage, but it's almost as if it doesn't seem to be paying attention, looking at these 4 dancing illusionary wizards.
And then
3.
that's
One of them's frozen.
a 26.
26 hits as well.
For 10.
Okay. So slash slash, almost this X. You see elements of the fur peel away from that carve. Still doesn't seem to feel it that much.
Oh, I lied. There's an additional 4 to the first attack. 4 points of damage that I missed.
No worries.
Not necessarily.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. You stand your ground. That brings us to the bottom of the order. Alyssa, what would you like to do?
Try to break free.
Okay. End of your turn. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
I can't do anything else, right?
Correct. It's at the end of your turn. You are currently paralyzed.
Right.
So, for paralyzed specifically,
I can't cast spells because unless they are non-somatic.
so you are technically, when you are paralyzed or incapacitated, you
Yeah.
can't take actions or reactions.
Yeah.
Additionally, your movement speed is 0. You automatically fail strength and dex throws. Attack rolls against you have advantage.
Okay, that's 21.
You grit your teeth and you can't break free
Oh no,
of this
I'm
ice.
gonna die.
And then all of a sudden, off to your right, there is this, and you feel energy pulse from Kendall.
Oh, nice.
And just barely, you crack an elbow, then another shoulder, and then
I
you
am
break
looking
free.
ragged.
As you break free, the ice that falls away is crimson with your own blood. But that is your turn. That brings us to the top of the round.
Do I?
and this,
I don't get movement now.
No, this is at the end of your turn.
Okay. Yeah.
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving
Oh,
throw.
nice. That's good.
He's like sinking to one knee. He's looking kind of hurt now. He definitely sees that you're broken out of the ice. He's gonna fail that.
That is 12.
12.
Nice.
Ooh, okay. You can see he like is on the edge. The moonbeam hits him again. He shields his eyes. He drops to the ground. The cloak around him is shredded and becomes like away from his body. You see the bare, gleaming chest and tons of icicles sticking in through the heart, into the lungs. You see several now in the back of the head, piercing the brain. He's pretty hurt, but he's still alive.
Damn.
Anything else?
That's the start of his turn.
Okay. Oh, right. It's his turn. Oh, good. He is going to move out of the moonbeam. He's going to take 15 steps to the left, not really understanding how far
This
the
way?
moonbeam... No, other direction. Not understanding how far the moonbeam can move. He is not a druid. However,
Nice.
from his standpoint here, even as ragged as he is, you can turn and he's going to look kind of wildly around and go, I should run. I can't run. They'll freeze me. Better to die like this. He looks over, seeing you come out and looking pretty ragged. What does he still have? Gosh.
Wait, things that don't require
let's
a
upcast
saving
that.
throw.
He is going to cast Magic Missile at 5th level. His highest spell slot.
All right.
So you are going to just straight up take some damage here.
Not necessarily. I got my mirror images. You might.
That's true.
You might fuck
That
them
is a
up.
good point.
Resistance, because...
And resistance because it's
However,
magic.
Each of these darts hits a creature of your choice that you can see. I don't know. Can you
So
read?
each time a creature targets you with an attack during the spell's duration, roll a d20 to determine whether the attack instead targets one of your duplicates. If you have 3 duplicates, you must roll a 6 or higher, 2, an 8 or higher, 1, an 11 or higher. The duplicate's AC equals 10 plus your dex modifier. If it hits a duplicate, it's destroyed.
Okay, no problem. So again, this is 8 darts. So I'm excited for this. We're going to do each one separately. The first one, until your illusions are gone. The first one, so go ahead and roll your thing.
Okay, first one hits a duplicate.
So the first missile swoops in and a duplicate disappears.
Well, wait, what was the... It's got to beat an 11 AC. Or no. Yeah, an 11
Magic
AC.
missile doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
it
it
just
doesn't-
takes raw damage. So that one creature, it takes 1 point of damage and shatters.
Okay.
Roll again.
Okay. That hits the other duplicate.
You see another missile. This time it seems brighter, and it strikes the missile dead in the head, and the whole thing explodes.
Oh,
that was a
no.
lot more damage. than
Oh
that one.
no.
Roll again.
It hits the duplicate, and now the rest are gonna be.
This
going
duplicate,
up.
the missile that hits it is the brightest one yet, and that duplicate is almost shredded in the light as it passes beyond. That's 3. You take. You know what? This is going to be easier to do here.
I mean, yeah, you should probably still roll for him, because you could probably target something else.
You take 17 points.
I'm down.
Force damage.
Yeah, I'm
you
down.
can't target the darts individually; they all hit.
I'm down.
So, as he's like falling in this moonbeam, falling apart, he holds out the staff, and these missiles
just
of
go,
magic energy curve around all these things. Yeah, and again and again and again, each image shatters away before you take 5 darts to the chest and drop into the snow. Your lifeblood pulsing and oozing from your body and into the cold. That is his turn. It is the the Yeti's turn. It's so tempting, but he's not going after you. He's really locked into Kendall right now. So he's going to take 2 swipes at you, Kendall.
Okay.
First one, that's not great. 17 to hit.
That misses.
Second one, even worse. So that's going to miss as well. He is then going to use his chilling gaze. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Natural 20.
Huh. He turns the eyes on you, and you feel this burst of cold. And the water within your body, your natural affinity to this material, seems to almost shift and change, allowing it to pass around you without being hurt or affected. That is its turn. That is going to bring us to top of the round. Oh, no, sorry. Kraska was first. Brings us to the next person, which is going to be...
Over.
What did I write?
It's Okart's turn.
Double
Oakart, go
18s,
ahead.
or no, double 19s
19,
and
yeah.
an 18. Yeah.
And I think I had a
You have
higher,
higher,
con or something.
AC or Dex
That's what it is, yeah.
initiative.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I wrote there.
Oh.
It just says
Okay.
Adam, I think.
Adam,
There's no Adam here.
Adam Price.
Adam Price. Adam Danger Susan Price. Anyways. All right. So, Okart, what do you want to do?
Did I notice anything when I said the name?
Which name did you say?
Isan.
Sandra?
No, nothing.
Okay. My healing spirit is probably going to heal Aluso for...
Eluso, you fall to the ground. And as the
My
darkness
tenure.
washes over you, you have some comfort in the fact that finally this awful journey is at an end. And then suddenly, as the warmth and the darkness overtakes you, the pain flares up again, and you are back on the cold ground with a couple hit points left.
Struggle to get to my notebook.
First thing you do is just start adding to the list.
Nearly killed by magic missiles.
So you're you can roll healing for that.
Oh, I did,
boy.
yeah, you get 4.
Oh.
Do my trance attack on my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have them attack by throwing rocks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, make your attack roll. That's amazing. Love it. Love that. He has so little health left.
17 plus 10.
That hits. So, for you, Kendall, the only one that can really see this, aside from Okart, you see this tree suddenly, the bark moves and creaks as this tree comes to life. You see the face swarm out of the bark. And as the eyes blink a couple times, for the first time taking in the light, they look down. You see it picks up a rock, and without even really, barely looking over, just hurls it towards the cliff. Roll damage for that.
Yep. Six, so 28. Oh, no, wait. 30.
30 points of damage.
Yep. And that's one of them.
This boulder goes high in the air. You see it almost disappear, and this guy kind of bending down, firing these magic missiles. He pulls a staff down and he goes, "Great wizard," and then looks up. Blood. Missed. You had 4 hit points left.
Nice.
Damn.
That almost is his full health. He is gushed. There is no remnant of him left. You see like a tiny scrape of a fabric of a little bit of a blue robe underneath the boulder, and then just a mist of crimson around.
Damn.
You still see like a little bit in the air, kind of like floating in the wind away. He is pulverized. Very well done. We still have another treant.
I'm going to go for the Yeti then.
There you go. Is he going closer and then hitting him? Or is
Yeah,
he
he's going
throwing-
to do a slam because he can do 2 time attacks.
Can you scoot that tree into base contact
This
with
one
the Yeti?
or
The other
this
one, yeah,
one?
that one. I assume the closer one hurled that rock. So
Flanked?
effectively.
Flanked?
Yes.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
like, jeez. 2, so that's no good.
Flanked? Flanked?
19.
19 hits.
Yeah, okay.
Well, plus a bunch of shit too.
Oh, yeah, plus that. Yeah, plus 10.
So 29? Yeah, that hits too.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't. It
One.
goes around.
Yeah, you broke the.
You go too high and it goes back.
You actually healed.
4, 8 plus 6 is
Beefy.
14.
You said 14 for that one?
Yep.
So this treant storms forwards a couple of steps and just brings its hands in this like axe handle like grip and just slams it into the back of the Yeti. The Yeti stumbles forwards. Great.
I can do a second attack too.
Do
There's
it.
2 slam attacks. That is 16 plus 10, 26.
26 hits.
All right, cool. 5 plus 13 plus 6, 19 damage.
19. Okay. So now this creature slams its hands into the back of the Yeti. The wood of the arms breaks, and you can see the stumps of these arms swing around quickly and grow out into fists again that slam it again. The Yeti like takes a step forward and then another. And Kendall, you see these eyes suddenly shift angrily. Definitely turn towards this treant.
And then I can attack with my normal attack, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so.
So first attack is a 19
Nice.
plus 7.
Okay.
So that's a hit.
Yep. And with your reach, you can hit even over Kendall.
Nice.
Nice.
That is a 6 plus 4, so 10 plus... So 13 for damage for my first attack.
Okay.
Second attack.
Also advantage because of flank?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these should be at advantage. Absolutely.
Okay, I just roll another one just in case crit.
Sure.
No, it wasn't crit. Okay, so my second attack,
Also at advantage.
7. And then my second roll for advantage, 8 plus 7.
Yep, that hits.
Nice.
Nice.
He's just a big pile of hit points. He's not hard to hit.
7 plus 4, so 11.
Neither is Eluso, but he is a small pile of hit points.
Really small pile of hit point. Great.
And I get a bonus action to back a staff.
Yeah.
That is,
So you slam into him twice with your fist. Now, just 2 trees pummeling a Yeti from opposite sides. Nature
is-
really fighting back.
8, and then advantage, 15.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, that's a d4 plus, come over here, plus 4. So it's, 7 damage.
So again and again, you slam into this Yeti. The treant behind you punches him in the face. He spins around. You punch him in the face. He spins around. The other treant brings a massive knee up, slams him in the gut, just back and forth. You guys are abusing this creature. He's starting to look kind of rough.
Nice.
That is your turn, Oakheart. That brings us to Kendall. Kendall, off to your right. This Yeti is being pummeled now.
I can move the moonbeam 60 feet. Will it reach him?
5, 20. Yes, it will.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be totally over him either, but because of how large he is, it's just edging into the corner square that he occupies.
That's fine.
So
Constitution
certainly
saving throw.
Damn. Okay. That is going to be a massive failure. It's a 9.
13?
13.
13.
Math. Okay.
And then I'm going to hit him twice.
Go for it.
That is a... Oh, I can't math. 21.
21 hits. Yeah.
And I'll burn another spell slot. Add some Divine Smite with that. That was really bad. 5 points of slashing and 5 points of radiant.
Okay. Hey, every bit helps. That longsword slashes across his thigh. He almost sinks to his knee. You can see muscle under the fur.
And the next one's a natural 20.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll damage for that. Are you pumping smite into that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, remember you double the dice roll. Which includes the smite damage.
And I'll do a second level, so it'll add another one.
There you go. Yeah. Smite and crit, nasty combo.
I'm gonna need a calculator. Hold on.
Man, I really thought that this guy was going to be tougher than he was. Because this is a lot of damage from the
Not
tree.
tough enough for the
18
great wizard
slashing.
Eluso.
18
I love
slashing?
that
18
voice.
slashing. And 28 points of radiant damage.
Tell us how it happens.
Nice.
That's all it takes. Yeah, damn. He had 4 hit points left after the slashing.
Nice.
I did 0.
Like almost a sunburst as he's like split almost in half.
Nice.
So, as you hit him in the leg, he sinks down. You see the flesh kind of part. You see down to the bone. And in this moment, as he gets a hit again from the treant and then again from Oakfeld, he sprawls out, the arms wide. You take your sword, swing it up. It begins to glow, almost with the momentum of your swing. And as you bring it up, it's as if it becomes an elongated streak of light. And passing straight through the Yeti, peels apart entirely in half, falling to either side. The snow soaked with blood, but I will now take you guys out of initiative.
Peace,
As you
motherfucker.
all find yourselves within this snowy field. Beyond and in the space where you see this dark gateway, suddenly it shimmers and flickers, and you can see beautiful forest. You may have not seen this place before, but beyond, you see Everest. Specifically, the glimmering forest, just a little bit northeast of the Emerald Spire. Probably still just at a walking distance. Probably like a little more than a 2-day walk, actually.
Motherfucking
But-
Abernathy.
But at least
Gonna
on
have
the
to
right
rent a
comp
cart
level.
or something. Yeah.
Oh, I could go so much into the lore of Everest, but we're not gonna. So, you see that beyond.
That's for the sequel where it's just Eluso goes home.
Just
It's just you walking for 2 days.
Fucking
The
goddamn
worst one shot I've
lightning
ever
fucking-
written.
Pat Luso on the back and give him 13 points lay on hands healing.
Yeah, I'm like pretty close to dead still.
And
You
I'm
see, as the sword passes through, this thing slides to the side. A bit of the energy clings to Kendall's hand. And as the hand touches you, this warmth spreads and you do heal.
And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds and give a little clematis flowers on him.
How much was
Just
it?
grow a little bit
11?
around him.
13.
13?
These little flowers sprinkled across you from Oakfeld, almost like salt from the moon.
How much is that? Oh man, I just
Cure
got
Wounds plus...
feeling revivified.
I'm gonna use 12 on myself.
How much?
Excellent.
we can do it second level,
What?
2d6.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Plus,
Just give me a number.
for the roll.
This healing seeps into you.
Plus... Come on, so that's...
Not gonna die
3, plus 3 to
today, hopefully. Oops. Woo!
So in front of you, there is a bluff, and beyond this gateway.
I'm gonna start climbing.
Okay?
I'm getting out of here. Is there? I'm going up to the wall to see. Is there like a better way
No
to
problem.
get up there?
Easy enough, you can tell. There are a few places that are almost formed like paths. And you can pick your way up without a problem, even for your old hand.
Okay. Well,
You get to the top and you see the gateway in front of you.
spit on the rock as I go by.
Sure. You spit on the rock and it just kind of drops down. Make a perception check as you walk by.
13?
13.
13, yeah.
Yeah. You walk by, the spit runs down the side of this
conjurer.
boulder for a moment before it freezes. But you step in front of this gateway and you can see a much bigger step closer to home.
Well, I walk through.
I'm going to say to Kendall,
That creature. I forgot its name.
Did seem vital.
How could one forget your name? That is forgetting your story. Forgetting your duty.
For some,
Kendall, you look around. There are 3 identical treants all now standing. You're like triangulated. They're all just 2 of them look kind of dumb, just looking at over at Oakfeld, and then you see Oakhart also now standing there.
He fell in the water. He got splashed by the water.
That's
too.
true. He got the dumb water.
It's pretty much mirror image.
For some, they may have painful things they're running from. It's easier to forget.
I would not forget. Even the painful memories, I would want them to remind me of my duties.
I wish many happy memories on you. Oh God.
And eyes to you.
Many thanks for your assistance.
And as we're going, I think I'll offer assistance to climb the boulder if people need it.
No problem. You reach down. You can just help Kendall right
Yeah,
up to the
yeah.
top. Both of you make perception checks as you reach the top. Your eye is kind of dead level with the ground.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay.
A 3.
Okay. Oakfeld, you help Kendall up. Kendall, as you get to the top, you look and you see a little frozen glob of spit on the side of this rock. The boulder, you would imagine, given the puff of blood mist that you saw, it should be flush to the ground, if not indented in. It is not. And as you get a little closer and you look down, you see several icicles glowing blue, unbroken underneath. The one closest to you, what languages do you speak?
Common, Primordial, Sylvan, and Elvish.
This is in Primordial. And as your eyes look at it, you feel your tears freeze. You look away and realize you could read this. There is something so powerful about it. You've never felt something like that. You would imagine to speak this name, and it is a name, would cause the breath in your throat to freeze. There is power here. Something beyond anything you've known or heard of. But as you step through the gate, and if you wish to, you step through as well, because it is 11:45. This is where we're going to end for the evening.
Survive.
And everybody survives. Honorfall, the Oakfeld backstory, which I feel like the Dumbwater, it really makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why he became one of those people who pass out flyers in the square.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason. He's like, oh, I'm going to do a religion now. Sorry, no offense. So, anyways, neither here nor there. Pull us back to our main view. Thank you for hanging out with us for this one-shot Honorfall that explored the background of Oakfell. I will say, once you all step through the gate and it does close Oakfell, or Oakhart, there is a moment where that gate shuts. You hear this kind of winter wind. You realize how far away from home you are. And as you turn, there is no other gate. You just see the dark woods beyond. And from within, you hear a deep voice. So deep that it rumbles the ground. You see snow fall away, and the 2 treants that you raised take root and return to trees. Oakfeld is with Oakfeld will be your name. You have broken our traditions. You wish to help humans. We will curse you with the most horrible form. Leave. No longer Oakhart, but Oakfeld. And do not return until you find your honor. And you look up as the cliff gets further and further away from you. You feel cold in a way that you've never felt before. And as you look down, you see horrible, peachy human skin. And you are now a human.
Get that shit out of here.
It's in the back.
Get this thing.
It'd be Fukumoto.
Fukumoto.
And that is how you became Oakfell. So, thank you for joining us for this one shot. Talon, thank you for sticking around, and we will see you all Everybody lives. You demand a refund. We've had other one shots where people.
I'm
don't
honestly, I'm surprised that I lived because this was the one that I made disposable as fuck.
die. Kendall carried you guys through.
Oh my God,
Gara?
yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
oh, I made it look like, I could make things look like things.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Really, almost. There was times where you could have used it.
I mean, the fear was good.
Fear was
was
great.
good.
You could have
That was
really fucked up Archie, and you could have ruined his
yeah.
entire world perspective very easily.
Yeah, major.
He's already just on the edge.
Yeah, he's lucky. He's lucky I had that bag of sand.
Anyways, thank you for hanging out with us. We're going to be back next week on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Mosaic Team 5, Session 7, where we're going to see our first space combat for some time. And then on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Adventures in Alberon Session 104. 104, where we're going to begin delving a little bit more, it would appear, into Eleanor's backstory, where we return to Nocturne and explore the walled city and the organized crime scene in a little bit more depth. But until then, please stay safe out there. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.